This is a production of SDPB.
Touchdown! This is for a state championship. Oh, drop kick, and it's good!
There's going to be some highlights coming off of this.
The short-range jumper.
Edging out in lane 4, the top seed.
This South Dakota High School State Championship event is conducted under the direction of the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Watertown in the Civic Arena for our third day of coverage of the Class A Girls Basketball Tournament here on SDPB. Along with Nate Kading, I'm Steve Toom. We finish up the basketball season for the girls today, Nate, and we start off with our 7th place game. And then we'll roll into our consolation championship game. It's going to be a full day of action here in Watertown.
No question, Steve. This final day is always special for a number of reasons. Obviously, we'll be crowning a champion tonight, but a lot of these athletes that'll step foot even out this afternoon will be appearing in their last high school game, and some special ones at that, which we'll talk about here coming up.
Lakota Tech will take on Wagner for 7th place. We'll follow that up with West Central taking on Sioux Valley. That'll be the consolation championship following that. The evening session will start off at 5 Central, 4 Mountain Time, a battle of the Chargers. Second year in a row that they have met. Last year was in the semifinals. This year for 3rd place, Hamlin against Sioux Falls Christian. And then for all the marbles tonight, Makpialuta, unbeaten on the year, taking on Lennox. They did meet during the regular season. It was the closest game Makpialuta had all years. You take a look at the brackets on, that's how we got to today.
Yeah, some great action that we had last night in those semifinal games. Lennox has just been defending at a really, really high level, kind of stifled that Hamlin offense. And then Sioux Falls Christian hung around last night for a while against Makpialuta, but that pressure ended up becoming too much. Ashton Carlo Blunt got going, and we're going to have a great one here this evening.
All right, let's start off with what we've got here. Wagner, led by Michael Kopel, and they finished 7th place last year. They were runner-up in 2023, and they are led by an All-American, a McDonald's All-American in Ashlyn Kopel, as you see their path to the state tournament through Mount Vernon, Plankington, and then Del Rapids. They fell to Sioux Falls Christian on the first day, and then yesterday, Ashlyn Kopel turned in one of the all-time great performances. 35 of the team's 38 points. She also had 17 rebounds as well. It wasn't enough to get past West Central. She is the only senior on the roster, and yesterday, for the 2nd year in a row, she was named the Gatorade Player of the Year for girls basketball in South Dakota. Hayden Knudsen, Raven Madriski, Braxton Nedved, and Matea Bruyere, all juniors, round out that starting lineup. Let's turn our attention now to the Tatanka of Lakota Tech. They are led by a former Spirit of Sioux winner in head coach Laura Bickcrow. And they are 19-6 on the year. They average 68 points per game. And you see their path to the state tournament. This is a team that likes to fly up and down the court.
They play with a ton of pace. They play free. They play loose. The one thing that they need to make sure that they tighten up if they're wanting to have success in this afternoon's game, a little bit higher shooting percentage. They've shot in the 20s both of their previous games at this state tournament. That efficiency could propel them to victory.
The sisters Shangru, Isabella and Amelia get the start. Amelia's an 8th grader, Isabella a sophomore. The Robinson sisters also in the starting lineup. Kate is a junior, Lizzie is a sophomore, and then Addison Goings, a senior, rounds out that starting lineup. This is a team scores 68 points per game. Amelia Shangru at 21 and Lizzie Robinson at 19.5 points. Those are the top 2 scorers. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ashlyn Kopel, her average 28 points, 14 rebounds per game. It should be an interesting matchup between these two squads. We are about ready for the introduction of the starting lineups. We'll also have the national anthem as well, Lakota flag song. We're going to turn it over to Mr. Ryan Neal. He is our public address announcer.
South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard, welcome you to this championship session of the State A Girls High School Basketball Tournament. This tournament is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs. We hope you will enjoy the games and support your athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, will you please stand as we honor America? We are proud to present Tayton Killsmall of Lakota Tech High School. He will sing the Lakota Flag Song, which is a musical composition dedicated to honoring the American flag. Following the completion of the Lakota Flag Song, please remain standing for the national anthem. The national anthem will be performed by Sarah Lee from Watertown under the direction of Tanner Chilson. We will remind all in attendance that the proper respect is to face the flag, remove your hat or cap, and stand at attention with your right hand over your heart. Veterans in active duty military not in uniform may also salute the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lakota Flag Song, followed by the national anthem.
Hey,
And now let's meet today's starting lineups in alternating fashion. At one guard for the Red Raiders, 5'10", and a junior, number 10, Mateo Bruyere. At one guard for the Lakota Tech, 5'5", and an 8th grader, number 2, Amelia Shangru. At guard for the Red Raiders, 5'10", and a junior, number 14, Braxton Nedved. At a guard for the Lakota Tech, 5'7", and a senior, number 11, Addison Goins. At a 4 for the Red Raiders, 6'3", and a junior, number 20, Raven Madriski. At 4 for the Lakota Tech, 5'8", and a junior, number 12, Kate Robinson. At a guard for the Red Raiders, 5'9", and a junior, number 23, Hayden Knudsen. At 4 for Lakota Tech, 5'9", and a sophomore, number 13, Lizzie Robinson. At 4 for the Red Raiders, 6'3", and a senior, number 24, Ashlyn Copo. And at 4 for Lakota Tech, 5'7", and a sophomore, number 33, Isabel Shangru. Assistant coaches for the Red Raiders, Courtney Baumgart, Travis Halliday, Tara Copel. Assistant coaches for Lakota Tech, Corey Shangru. Head coach of the Red Raiders, Mr. Michael Copo. And head coach of Lakota Tech, Laura Bickrow. Your officials for this afternoon's contest, Andrew Leponsky, Pete Intringer, and Lewis Young. Today's lineups are brought to you.
Alrighty, we are ready to start our final day with basketball. Wagner wears the road black uniforms with the red numbers and letters, the home whites for the Tatanka of Lakota Tech. Only 2 seniors on the entire roster for Lakota Tech, 1 senior on the roster for Wagner. That is Ashlyn Copel. Madriski in the center circle. The tap is controlled by Kate Robinson, who almost went the wrong way.
That was, Lizzie Robinson smartly caught that thing quickly, took it the right direction.
Here's a steal by Wagner, and Bruyere got bumped at half court, no foul. And Wagner.
And Wagner will really look to try to establish some of their other players. Yesterday we talked about that performance that Ashlyn Copel had, but it really helps him a ton. And right there you can see hitting a big one there, Braxton Nedved.
Yeah, Nedved had 12 on opening day, and here comes a 3 the other way, no good, and Madriski clears the rebound. Pass into the front court, Knudsen has it. Copel fade away, yes, almost impossible to stop that shot.
Yeah, and when you get in games like this, it's obviously not the game that they all hoped coming into Thursday, but it's always interesting to see the mentality of the competitors that they have out there, and Wagner off to a good start here so far early.
We're gonna have a foul on Wagner there on the drive by Shangru, and that is gonna be a foul on Bruyere, and the junior picks up her first.
And Shangru, she's had a very nice tournament for an 8th grader. Scoring the basketball is at 15 in both games. The one thing she'll really look to do is she hasn't been overly efficient with her shooting. 4 of 17 against Hamlin, and then 6 of 16 yesterday.
That one in and out, and there's another rebound for Madriski. It's 5-1 here in the early going. Nedved short on that shot, and it is going to go out of bounds to Lakota Tech. Lakota Tech made the tournament in 2022 and 2023. High school that started playing sports in the fall of 2021. There's a long three, in and out. And Kopel has the rebound, looking to run. And here comes the double team right away. Three, no good. Long rebound. Nedved throws it outside to Bruyere. They lob it. Madriski was open, and she gets her first points of the tournament.
That was a nice find there by Nedved, and Madriski's been open a couple times. They're putting two defenders on Kopel. There's a nice catch and finish.
Three is good, and that's Isabella Shangru. She's had a tough tournament. Averages 11 and has only scored 9 total in the previous 2 games. They lob it down low to Kopel. She is surrounded, and it's taken away by Goings.
Yeah, and you can see this just transition pace that Lakota Tech wants to play with. And then in the half court, they're going to flow, be very aggressive as Shangru hits another one.
Give her 6. By the way, these two teams did not meet during the regular season.
Yeah, and you can see this just flying around 1-2-2 zone. They are trying to bracket Ashlyn Kopel.
And we're going to have a whistle. We have a foul, I think, and it's going to be on Amelia Shangru. Her first. She has had some foul problems in this tournament so far. As we have Hannah Holzbauer checking in to replace Bruyere. Holzbauer, a sophomore, had 10 points opening day. Here's a 3 on the way. Nedved in and out, and that's Lizzie Robinson with the rebound.
And you can tell, I'm sure Coach Kopel had a discussion with the group and wanting to have some of those other role players that are more than capable show their aggressiveness, as Shangru has another one in and out. And you can just, whether it's Nedved.
It's turned over, and out in front of the pack is Amelia Shangru, and she will make the layup.
And that was the one thing with Wagner. Did a little bit better job in their quarterfinal game of taking care of the basketball. Yesterday they had 23 turnovers.
That one in and out. Spun around, did not fall for Kopel. Here's Amelia Shangru, short on the 3, and Madriski clears another rebound. Up and down the court we go. Here's a drive, and the bucket scored by Nedved. That's her first 2-point bucket of the tournament.
It's a good pitch ahead right there. Advance that ball with the pass, and nice aggressive finish.
Kate Robinson pulls the trigger on the 3. It won't fall. Kopel with the rebound. Runs over to the right side. Harassed there by the Shangru sisters. Throws it up top. And here's wide open. That is Knutson. No good. Madriski is going to be fouled. And we've got a timeout on the court with 3:53 left to go. First quarter, we're tied at 9 between Wagner and Lakota Tech. Back in a moment right here on SDPB.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
Welcome back to the Class A girls basketball tournament, 7th place game. First quarter, we're tied up at 9 between Wagner and Lakota Tech. Wagner to play it in from out of bounds. after the foul on Isabella Shangru, her first. Wagner, the fresh shot clock to work with. Holzbauer threw it, intended for Nedved, but it's taken away by the Tatanka.
And right idea by Holzbauer there, just a little high on the pass.
Another three, that one off the mark, and Kopel pulls it away from a couple of players. Numbers for Wagner. Three-pointer, in and out. But there's Holzbauer trying to put it up, but it's slapped away by Amelia Shangru.
Yeah, it was a good wall up there by Lizzie Robinson. Not bailing her out with the foul. Shangru deflected behind.
Shot by Amelia Shangru, no good. Holzbauer snatches the rebounds, tapped out of bounds by Isabella Shangru.
Yeah, and as we expect, this Lakota Tech team has multiple athletes that can shoot it from three and are really comfortable from out there. 8 of their 11 field goal attempts so far have been from out there.
For Lakota Tech, they have a couple of seniors, one junior, and it's all underclassmen after that. This is a team that's going to be around for a while as they'll reset. And now they'll throw to the corner. Now Kopel in traffic, scores.
Yeah, and that's an area where we haven't seen Ashlyn Kopel operate too often, mainly because there's been about 3-4 athletes around her when she catches inside, but there you can see her post-up ability.
And here's Lizzie Robinson misfiring on the three, but the long rebound comes down to Goings.
It was actually Robinson's first field goal attempt of the game after having 22 yesterday.
In and out on the three, and Kopel clears it away. Numbers for Wagner, a little bit tall. I think that was for Holzbauer. It was. Tatanka coming the other way with Goings. She'll line it up. It's a three, and that one rattles out. Shangru throws it up, no good. Holzbauer clears it away.
The Tatanka have had about 4 or 5 threes that were right on line, just in and out.
Holzbauer, the free throw line jumper, rattles out, but there's Kopel and Shangru, and that's going to be a jump ball possession arrow Wagner.
And the one thing when you get a rebound like that, Ashlyn Kopel, you want to, she was trying to gather herself, but the more you bring that basketball down, the more that you're going to invite those defenders, especially the smaller ones like me or Isabella Shangru, to get their hands in and tie that ball up.
Kopel will throw it in to the corner. Nedved didn't have the shot, puts it up from the mid-range. It's short, and there's Kate Robinson with the rebound. Up ahead, Amelia Shangru got it.
It's another nice find in transition right there. Love those pitch aheads as it puts so much pressure on the defense. That pass is always faster than the bounce up the court.
Holzbauer feeds it down low. Put up, I think it was Madriski, and she'll get some free throws. She was fouled with 1:15 left.
Yeah, and they found Madriski inside here a couple different times. They had her yesterday. She was 0 of 3 from the floor yesterday. Or excuse me, against Sioux Falls Christian she was. And actually did not attempt a field goal yesterday. So it's a welcome sight, as we've mentioned, to get some of these other, Nedved already with 5, and Madriski here, a chance to score another, get up to 3.
A foul on Kate Robinson, her first, and we have a lane violation, and that free throw will not count. Madriski averages 4.5 points, 5 rebounds per game, a 6'3" junior standout volleyball player. Plans on playing college volleyball, has not made a commitment yet, but they're having seen her at state volleyball the last couple of years. She is going to play somewhere at the next level. She's really, really good. Here's a fadeaway three. It's an air ball, and it comes down to Madriski. Same thing with Hannah Holzbauer, the sophomore. Here's 3 on the way by Kopel. It's no good, but there's Holzbauer trying to force it up. It was tipped out of her hands. Yeah, Hannah Holzbauer, another standout volleyball player from a Wagner team that has qualified for state volleyball the last few years. She's a sophomore, and it was Madriski and Holzbauer, their main 2 players, and on that volleyball team, and neither have made any commitment yet, but again, I expect to see them playing college volleyball somewhere.
Yeah, they look like two good athletes running up and down the basketball floor.
There's Lizzie Robinson with the steal. And she'll bring it up. Yeah, how good a volleyball team it is when Ashlyn Copel was your number 3 option.
This is true, and you love to see them playing multiple sports like that, and staying involved, and especially in today's day of I try to do everything I can to get away from the specialization, Steve. Get them active, and it does so many good things for these athletes, physically and mentally and relationship-wise.
That was tapped away, looked like it was kicked, and it's going to count as a steal and a bucket for Amelia Shangru.
Yeah, Lakota Tech was fortunate on that one, because I think that was pretty clear kick ball.
Here's a 3, and that's Knutson firing at the buzzer, no good. 1 quarter in the books. It's Lakota Tech 13, Wagner 11. Back with more in a moment right here on SDPB 3.
Our Peterson Farm Seed Reps real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm Seed Reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
We're ready for the second quarter of basketball here in Watertown Class A girls. It's Lakota Tech on top. They start the period with the basketball. Along with Nate Kading, I'm Steve Toom. Lizzie Robinson misses on the 3. Another rebound for Madriski. She's been active on the boards. Drive, Knutson missed it. Rebound pulled down by Wagner. Turnaround, Copel, a bit too strong. And we're going to have a rebounding foul. Getting position in there was Knutson. That's going to be a foul on Isabella Shangru.
Yeah, Knutson with a nice aggressive take in transition. Just a little off the mark on the finish, but a smart play by her, crashing that offensive glass.
Yep, it'll give Wagner another opportunity as they play it in. Copel throws it outside. Bruyere gets it back to Copel. Return pass, 3 ball on the way, good. Bruyere, her second tray of the tournament. And it's Wagner with the lead.
And those are when you're away from, you know how much attention that Ashlyn Copel is going to draw. So that was great. Bruyere was shot ready, hands and feet ready, no hesitation.
Shangru drive, floats it up and in. She's got 9 points. Checking into the game, Lydia Many Horses, number 24 for the Tatanka. Copel looking, passes. Nedved had it taken away by Lizzie Robinson. Numbers for the Tatanka. They'll go to the corner, and a 3 ball on the way. It's no good, but a long rebound. Copel pulls it away from her Many Horses.
It was a heady play by Robinson there. Attack that lane line and pitch, and here's another one from Bruyere.
That's big plus for Wagner. If she and Nedved can knock down some of those threes, and there's a 3 of her own by Lizzie Robinson, her first points.
Yeah, finally gets one to go, and she showed that ability yesterday with a big night. 22. Yesterday was kind of the same thing. Started off a little quiet as Copel answers with a nice pull-up. Started off a little quiet, but Lizzie Robinson really got herself growing in yesterday's matchup.
We got a timeout called by Wagner, a quick 30-second timeout here with 6 minutes left to go, as you see that shot there by Copel, who racked up another award, Gatorade Player of the Year, second year in a row. The only other two-time winners, her aunt Mandy Copel did that 98-99, Jill Young from Mitchell Christian in 2006 and 2007, and Nicole Tendler from Roosevelt did it in 96 and 97. Those are the only other two-time winners of the Gatorade Player of the Year for girls basketball.
I would say that pretty good company to keep right there, Steve. Pretty good company to keep, and it's going to be fun. She's going to have so many supporters as she heads on to the University of Nebraska next year, and everyone will be wishing her well. And it's just great to see here in this game other people stepping up as well, with Nedved and Madriski and Knutson, and Brewer all making plays as well.
Yep, there's a reason why they were 19-2 coming into tournament play. They go backdoor. Her Many Horses has to go outside to track it down. Shangru, nice little hesitation, but she lost the handle. Cross court intercepted. Holzbauer. Copel pulls up three, short. Rebound tapped around. Holzbauer saves it. Copel scanning the court. High post. That's Holzbauer, throws it up off the window, but there's Copel with the finish.
That was a nice seal on that initial shot by Madriski. Actually cleared out a defender off the mark and strong, but Ashlyn Copel was in good rebounding position on that weak side.
And there she gets a defensive rebound. Scans the court, pulls up three, no. Rebound Amelia Shangru. She wants to run. Up and down the court we go, and that one's too strong, but she gets it back, no good. Tipped around once, twice. Bruyere had it, lost out of bounds. It'll go to Wagner. Timeout on the court with 4:37 left to go. Second quarter, we got a good one here. Wagner up 21-18. Back in a moment on SDPB.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
4:37 left until halftime. This is the 7th place game, Class A girls basketball. Along with Nate Kading, I'm Steve Toom. We got a good one going here. Wagner up by 3, and they've got the basketball.
Yeah, back and forth action. Both teams have already hit 3 three-pointers, and that's a welcome sight for both of them.
Nobody was back there initially to take the inbounds pass. Madriski in close, and she finishes.
It's a nice find over the top and a nice catch and finish there by Madriski, and another nice pass.
Oh, but Kate Robinson misses an easy one. She'd love to have that one back. And that's Copel snatching it away from a defender. Pulls up, fouled, free throws forthcoming.
Yeah, and that came very, very close to being Wagner's 9th turnover of the game, and fortunate that Kopel was able to meet that pass and spin out of it. And Lakota Tech right now doing a great job taking care of it. Only two turnovers.
Foul was on Robinson. That's Lizzie Robinson, her first. Free throws are good by Kopel. We are under 4 minutes to go until halftime. Wagner's extended the lead to 7.
Yeah, and Wagner showed both little man-to-man and their kind of 2-3 matchup zone.
And Kopel affected that shot. Oh, but it's taken away by Lizzie Robinson, and she misses the layup. That was again, heard some footsteps. It was kicked out of bounds by Robinson.
Quick hands there by Robinson. Kopel tried to hit her with a crossover, and she poked it away. You do like to see, though, when you get that up, Ashlyn Kopel didn't give up on the play, sprinted back into it, and deterred that shot just enough to cause the miss.
Madriski in the high post. Here's Kopel in the paint, throws it up off the window, off balance. The rebound to the Tatanka. Kate Robinson, bounce pass, finish. Nicely done, Amelia Shangru. She's got 11. Tatanka within 5. Holzbauer, high post, Madriski, but too tall for her. Saved by Wagner. Loose on the court, tipped away. Amelia Shangru gets the steal. Chased by Kopel, but she made the layup.
Yeah, a couple transition finishes and opportunities here for the Tatanka.
3, no good, but there's Nedved clearing the rebound. Back to Kopel, another 3, rolls off the rim. And there's gonna be a rebound by Knutson, and she's fouled.
And Kopel just can't get one to go from deep right now. 0 of 5 from 3. Shoots it at a 46% clip, but I tell you what, it's been huge for Wagner. They got 12 offensive rebounds already in this first half, and you're seeing some of that size and motor, whether it's Nedved in there, Breuer in there, Madriski, Holzbauer.
Nedved's going to get a break. Breuer back in. Knutson on the year, 65% at the free throw line. 5'9", Anna Jr., and she makes that one. She's into the scoring column. Lead is 4 points. Kate Robinson getting that last foul, her second. There's a 3, nothing there at all, and Holzbauer collects it.
And Wagner's really tried to utilize this high-low a bunch.
And the shot is good. Breuer got 8 points.
Yeah, and Breuer only averages just over 3 a game on the season, giving them a huge boost here this afternoon.
Shangru missed it, but got her own rebound. Isabella, there's a drive. Amelia throws it high. Isabella blocked by Kopel. They'll pull it back out. That was a smart play, I think, by Kate Robinson. Bring it out, reset, and now a 3 on the way. No good, but the long rebound to Isabella Shangru. That's the thing about long shots. It means long rebounds.
Yeah, there's no question about that. That's where you really got to step to that offensive player, try to get a check out.
Kopel all the way, throws it up, and there's going to be a foul. And I think it's an offensive foul.
Yeah, got her with the charge right there. Said that defender was, yeah, that was probably a tough one right there, as I don't think she was quite in legal guarding position, but those are the hardest calls to make, those block charge calls.
30-second timeout called by Lakota Tech with 1:20 left to go. Don't forget, you can follow SDPB Sports on your mobile device all season long. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And be sure to browse all of our action and award photos by searching SDPB on Flickr. You can tell us where you're watching the games from. You can read some of our great stories and enjoy the videos featuring the teams, the kids, and the coaches here in South Dakota. There have been a lot of storylines from all 3 tournaments this week. Find it all, sdpb.org/basketball.
Yeah, when we got done last night, Sioux Falls, Washington, out at the AA, Sioux Falls, Washington pushed O'Gorman to the brink, but couldn't get it done. So we'll have 1 and 2 out there west tonight.
Yep, and we got, 2 and 5 as far as the seeds in our championship game here later on tonight.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't get myself to think that Mock Pialuta is technically a 2 seed when they haven't lost all year, Steve. I understand the seed points and I understand how all that stuff works, but yeah, I don't think they're a 2 seed. I think they're a 1 seed. They're 1 seed in my book when you don't get beat the entire year.
And they were the only one in Class A to claim that, as Raven Madriski gets the foul. Lizzie Robinson misses the free throw. On the year, 64%. It's interesting to note, the sisters Robinson both 64% at the free throw line on the season. I wonder if there was maybe a family bet involved, and I don't know what mom and dad have to decide in case of a tie. Who's the better free throw shooter? And that one will fall.
Friendly bounce there from Lizzie Robinson.
Pressure applied. Here's Kopel, double team, spins, puts it up, and that one will fall.
Yeah, and she smartly spun away from that double team to the baseline, was able to just rise up over the top.
Reverse layup, no good. Kopel clears it away. She's on the move. Through the paint, puts it up, no, but we've got some free throws coming up. 39.9 seconds left.
And that's an area right there where Ashlyn Kopel over these last 2 years has really just her ability to attack in transition, and when she gets stuck in the half court at times, she just draws so much attention that in transition, that can be the best time. There's just more space. The matchups aren't quite there, and she's really taking advantage of that.
Amelia Shangrew, her second personal foul. She'll bring the ball up court. About 5-second difference between shot clock and game clock. So we wind down quarter number 2. They'll throw it to the corner. Amelia Shangrew trying to drive, lost her footing, but gets it away to Goings. No shot for her, but Kate Robinson will fire. That's off the mark. And Madriski clears it away, or check that. There's a player there for Wagner. I think it was Knutson who cleared it away. 5 seconds left. Here comes Kopel. She'll find a player in the corner, and it's lost out of bounds. No shot put up. We'll end the second period of play with Wagner on top, 32-23. They outscore Lakota Tech 21-10 in that second period of play. Back with halftime right here from the Class A tournament in Watertown for girls basketball, SDPB 3.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Welcome back to the Civic Arena in Watertown. This has been our home for the last few days, Class A girls basketball. I'm Steve Toom, he's Nate Kading. We got Wagner on top here in the 7th place game over Lakota Tech. 32-23 here at the intermission. Let's check out some of the highlights from the first half. Lakota Tech got off to a hot start, but Wagner got some contributions from some of their role players.
Yeah, that's been it's been the difference so far to give them this advantage. Matea Breuer with 8 points. Braxton Nedved got it started early. You saw that 3 in the first highlight, and they're just different folks. Hayden Knutson, Madrisky. It's been great to, after only getting 3 points from anybody not named Ashton Kopel yesterday, to have that type of production has been a big reason why they are where they are right now.
Yeah, Madrisky with 4 points, but also 5 rebounds, so she's contributing on the glass as well.
And that's been another big difference so far in this game. Wagner, 12 offensive rebounds. They're really using that size and the physicality, but even some of their smaller guards and forwards, Hayden Knutson got in there for 1, but Madrisky's been involved on the glass, certainly Ashlyn Kopel.
Yeah, just a great team effort today from Wagner when they were basically a one-woman show yesterday when Ashlyn Kopel dropped 35 of their 38 points. You take a look at the team stats. Look at the rebounding stats. Wagner plus 22, but they've committed 9 more turnovers. And Lakota Tech, I'm sure Laura Big Crow's going to talk to her team about, hey, we got to box out better.
Got to box out, certainly. And then offensively for Lakota Tech, it's kind of how it was yesterday in that first game. They were shooting a bunch of threes early, 3 of 20. I'm sure she's going to be talking. That's how they play. You want to be true to how you play, but you also want to force the defense to defend. You also want to put some pressure on the paint, because good things have happened when they have driven the basketball. They'll get a little bit easier three-point looks, maybe shoot a bit higher percentage here in the second half.
Points in the paint, ironically, even up at 10. You figure Wagner with all those offensive rebounds would dominate, but they've missed a few of those stickbacks. Meanwhile, half of the shots put up by Lakota Tech have been three-pointers. They have 39 field goal attempts. 20 of them are from beyond the arc, but they're only 3 of 20 from the floor. Offensive rebounds, 12 for Wagner early on here as they are dominating the glass. And they outscored Lakota Tech 21-10 in that second period of play, and that's why they've got the lead here at the intermission. We'll take a break and come back with more. This is Class A Girls Basketball, SDPB 3.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
For your little ones and your biggest joys. Or your forever friends. And your fur kids, too. For your better half. Or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
We are in Watertown for Class A girls basketball day number 3. This is the 7th place game. Wagner here ahead at the break 32-23. SDPB's coverage of high school sports and activities is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you. A contribution today helps support the broadcast events such as the basketball championships. Make a donation today by visiting sdpb.org/donate. We'd like to thank all of our friends out there that have supported SDPB over the years. And we love continuing to cover the high school activities, not just the sports, but the fine arts as well. And speaking of fine arts, we talk about Ashlyn Copel and all of her athletic accomplishments. She also participates in band, chorus, student activity, and the Activities Council as well. She's also a member of the Lighthouse Church Youth Group, and she also volunteers for the Special Olympics. She has coached youth basketball and participated in other programs in the Wagner community. So she's getting a lot done off the basketball court. And my question is, does she even have time to sleep?
I think and she drives the bus too, Steve. I think she drives the bus, and that's the thing with all these stories and all these athletes. They get to this point certainly because of their basketball abilities and coming together as a group, but many of them are involved in a lot of different activities, and many of them will go on to, whether it's just going to school in college or going on to different activities in college or getting out in the workforce and going on to do great things, because they learn so many of these life lessons that they're going to take for however many years of their life. Like you just learn, especially in this sport, the adversity that you face, how fast it is, up and down, the teamwork that it takes. You learn a lot that you're going to be able to take into being a great father, being a great husband, being a great worker in the world.
Yeah, well, I should mention another student who's involved in things outside of basketball is Kate Robinson from Lakota Tech. She is the student council vice president over there at Lakota Tech. Since that's another thing, in some of these smaller schools, a lot of these athletes, boys and girls, they participate in a whole bunch of things outside of athletics.
No question, no question.
And with this Lakota Tech team, again, they are so very young and very talented. I mean, this is a team that's got a very, very bright future, and with an experienced coach in Laura Big Crow, you know that they've got somebody there to guide this team and develop these great young players that they have. As we get back to action, Wagner will start the third quarter with the basketball. They're up by 9. They're going to look for Copel. Can't get it to her right away.
Yeah, and you can see Lakota Tech just back to just man-to-man. They've mixed it up, and they're 1-2-2, or just playing straight up.
Copel turns around. Now Madriski, drop step, count it, and the foul. Raven Madriski. She's been quiet in the previous 2 games, but she has come to life today.
They've had some good success with that high-low action right there, whether it's Copel flashing or whether it's Madriski flashing, but they got a good partnership with one another. Whoever catches it up there is going to look immediately inside, and that was a nice post move by Madriski.
Kate Robinson, her 3rd foul. Nobody stops the ball, and Lizzie Robinson just went right down the lane and scored.
The seas parted right there for Lizzie Robinson.
Copel passes down low, thrown up and in. And that's Bruyere with another bucket. She's in double figures with 10. Pass tipped away. Lizzie Robinson throws it up and in, and Lizzie Robinson now with 8. And there's a young lady that scores 19.5 a game as the three's on the way, no good. And there's Lizzie Robinson tracking down the rebound. That young lady's just a sophomore.
Yeah, good-looking athlete, too, and
that's a nice pass to Shangru, and Isabella finishes.
Talked a lot about Lizzie Robinson's versatility. Scores about 20 a game, 8 rebounds, 4 assists.
Yeah, I mean, just impressive for that sophomore as Copel gets it, maneuvers through traffic, missed it, will get some free throws.
Lizzie Robinson actually reminds me so much of one that we're going to see in our next game, Kaylee Craddock, who's heading on, only a junior, but heading on to USD. Similar size, similar stature, both extremely versatile players.
Lizzie Robinson, her second personal foul, team's second. Copel misses her first free throw of the day. She had been 4 for 4 before that one, but got that one. She has 15 points here in the morning, still in Watertown. Not quite noon yet here on the eastern part of the state as Shangru drives. Throws up a difficult shot. Copel yet another rebound.
It's a great job by Nedved to stay in front right there, not bail her out with a foul.
Madrisky trying to back down and had it taken away, but Isabella Shangru standing out of bounds. Ashlyn Copel signaling the play. Thrown into the corner and Bruyere open and another three.
Bruyere shooting the ball very well. Her third three of the game this afternoon.
High off the rim, or off the backboard, I should say. Madrisky collects another rebound, and she's fouled by Isabella Shangru, who just collected her third personal foul. The lead 11, third team foul, and some of these fouls now racking up against Lakota Tech. Down low, Copel up, no good, gets her own rebound, hit the bottom of the rim, and Lizzie Robinson takes it away. She's in the open court.
Yeah, and that's one that Ashlyn Copel would like to have back. That was a nice find, just didn't finish it.
Isabella Shangru had it blocked. It goes out of bounds. It will stay with the Tatanka with 5:16 left here in the third. 11-point lead for Wagner. Almost a steal. Free throw line jumper, yes. Isabella Shangru now with 10.
And you can tell that she came out wanting to be really aggressive, probably feeling like she hasn't produced at the level that she's capable of here so far at the state tournament. She had a really nice game here today.
High entry pass, Copel sets and is fouled. And we've got a timeout on the court with 4:50 left to go here in the third quarter. Wagner 40, Lakota Tech 31. We'll take a break, come back with more in a moment, right here on SDPB3.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
You look at Laura Big Crow there, the head coach for Lakota Tech. 2004, she won the Spirit of Sioux Award, was first team All-Stater, and then Michael Kopel, head coach there for Wagner. As we get back to action, Wagner playing it in. There's the open shooter, but they can't get it to Nedved in time. High post, Bruyere outside, Nedved, three, yes!
Great ball movement there by Wagner. Basketball wasn't touching the floor too often, getting popped around, and Nedved with another three, their 5th one of the game.
And here's Amelia Shangru in and out. Boy, that was halfway down and rattled out. Kopel on the move. Passes down low, but it's intercepted. And that's Isabella Shangru with the ball. She'll get it back from Kate Robinson, who sets the screen. Pass down low and up and in quickly by Amelia Shangru, her first bucket of the second half.
The sister-to-sister find right there. Isabella to Amelia.
Oh, nearly lost by Nedved. And I think we're going to have a timeout, a 30-second timeout here called by Wagner, as they were in a little bit of trouble right in front of the bench, and Michael Kopel did not want to take any chances at all, and he decided to call that quick 30-second timeout just to reset, get his team focused.
Yeah, he didn't love their spacing, didn't love their plan, especially against that zone. And generally, Amelia Shangru's at the point of that thing, and she anticipates so well. She sees passes before they happen, and she was one of the ones chasing the ball, where Coach Kopel said they've had 12 turnovers here tonight. That's been a big difference. They've had 12. Lakota Tech's only had 2, but they've been able to make up for that by just crushing it on the glass. 13 offensive rebounds, out-rebounding Lakota Tech 41-20 right now.
Wagner plays it in with 23 on the shot clock. See if Lakota Tech goes for a trap. Here it comes. They'll lob it down low. Kopel had it taken away. It's Amelia Shangru. Lizzie Robinson, no on the three, and the rebound to Wagner. That's Bruyere, who's come up big today.
It was a high-quality look there by Lizzie Robinson. Just came up a little short.
Nedved backs it out, in trouble in the corner, and it's tapped away and taken away by the Tatanka, but we've got a player down for Wagner. Somebody got twisted around there along the baseline, and I can't see who it is, but somebody went down for Wagner, trying to catch a uniform number.
I think it's Nedved.
Again, can't see a uniform number. I think it is Nedved.
14, yeah.
Yeah, Braxton Nedved, 2:54 on the clock. And the training staff tending to that young lady here. Let's hope she's okay.
Maybe looking at a shoulder over there or something. It looks like she's hanging that left arm, shoulder or elbow. Or
yeah, she was fighting for that loose ball along the baseline, went down awkwardly. And yeah, normally when you see something like that, normally it's an ankle or a knee that gets twisted, but I think she landed on her shoulder awkwardly.
Yeah, seems to be grasping that left shoulder.
Gives Wagner and Lakota Tech a chance to regroup here. It will be Tatanka basketball. 2:54 left. Holzbauer comes out onto the court along with Knutson, Kopel, Madriski, and Bruyere. That's the 5 on the court now for Wagner.
And Nedved's been an important piece of this group here as Addison Goins.
Shangru gets the rebound, missed it, and Kopel clears it away. She's looking up court. Doesn't have the numbers, has to pull it back to the outside. Weaves through traffic and she's going to get some free throws.
Yeah, what I was saying about Nedved, 8 points this afternoon, but even more importantly, 5 assists. So she's been one of their better facilitators here this afternoon, finding her teammates. And we've talked a bunch about they're getting production like you need to win a state tournament game. Breuer with 13, Madriski with 6. I already mentioned Nedved's 8.
Kopel got both free throws. That foul, by the way, Addison Goings, her first, team's 5th. So Wagner gets free throws for the rest of the period. 3, no, short of the mark. Kopel yet another rebound. That's her 17th rebound. Pass down low, missed the shot, but free throws coming up.
And Amelia Shangruz had some really good stuff going at the basket today. She's struggling a little bit from 3, 0 of 6 from 3. And she generally shoots it a little bit, just shy of 30% from 3. So uncharacteristic day from long range for her.
Breuer with the free throw. By the way, that foul on Isabella Shangruz, that is her 4th. Lydia Many Horses, a 5'6" sophomore, number 24, into the game. Rebound tipped around, controlled by Lizzie Robinson. She'll take it all the way, lift it short. Another rebound for Kopel. Kopel has it tapped away by Amelia Shangruz in those quick hands. So 3-on-2 and counted in the foul. What a play, Amelia Shangruz.
And that's where she just had some great things happen for her in transition, getting to the rack, and you mentioned she's a defensive pest right there. Hands are always around the ball, creates a ton of turnovers, ton of steals and offensive opportunities for her team that way.
Hayden Knutson the foul, her first. That one rattles around and will not fall. And the rebound ends up in the hands of Wagner. They've got Madriski ahead of everybody, and she'll get some free throws. Ava Madriski running the court. And that is her Many Horses. That's her first.
Yeah, and both teams, when you get to this 3rd game in 3 days, and neither one of these groups are overly deep, basically go 6 players each right now, and looks like Nedved's got an ice pack hooked on the shoulder over there, so her day may be done. And yeah, you got the legs underneath you, and can get a little fatigue starting to set in.
Second free throw missed. The lead a dozen for Wagner. And Lizzie Robinson is fouled. That's only the 2nd team foul on Wagner, not in the act of shooting. And that is going to be on Breuer, her 2nd. First Wagner player to be tagged with her 2nd foul. Lizzie Robinson lost it, and Holzbauer took it away.
Yeah, and it looks like Lizzie Robinson is really favoring. We've talked about a couple hard falls that she's taken these initial first 2 days, and looks like she's really limping up and down the court.
Amelia Shangruz just got her 2nd foul as she collided with Kopel. Ashlyn Kopel at the moment 17 points, 18 rebounds, 5 assists.
It's not a bad stat line right there, Steve. Not a bad stat line. I know she can be her hardest critic, I'm sure. Generally, when players get to the level that she is, you're like that. So she's going to probably look at the 7 turnovers that she has and the 0 of 5 from 3. But yeah, when you got 18 rebounds and the amount of points that you have, 5 assists as well.
That is Lizzie Robinson, and we've got a timeout, I believe. Or hang on, the official said, pointing to the bench. No, we got a bench warning against Lakota Tech, I believe.
Yeah, I think Coach Big Crow maybe wanted to and one opportunity right there on that finish.
So we will play on here. A minute 15 and counting. Kopel triple teamed. Throws across court. There's the open shooter, but Knutson couldn't get a shot off. Now she does. And the rebound pulled down by Kate Robinson on the good box out.
Yeah, and Lakota Tech just kind of hanging around here at this 12-point deficit right now.
And Kate Robinson will get some free throws as she hits the deck again.
They haven't been able to really put too much game pressure on this Wagner team. Stayed right around this double-digit deficit here for much of this second half.
Holzbauer with the foul, her first, team's third. Lizzie Robinson connects. She has got 11 points at the moment.
Yeah, and you mentioned it in the first half, Steve. Pretty solid free throw shooter, 65% on the year.
That one no good, and Madriski up high for the rebound. Nice crossover there. Through traffic, open shooter, missed it, and we're gonna have a foul on Madriski, as that was Holzbauer that had a good look. Madriski foul number 2 on the rebound.
Yeah, I think they got her with the little push, and Kate Robinson was trying to hold that box out and displaced her a little bit.
Here's an 8th grader in for Wagner. That's Peyton Witchman, number 45. And she's gonna collect the foul right away. And that is team foul number 5. So free throws coming up here now for Lakota Tech.
Team 5th, number 13, Lizzie Robinson at the line, shooting 2.
Holzbauer's going to come back in here quickly as Lizzie Robinson back to the line. 2 of 4 on the day.
And Witchman was trying to be pretty aggressive there to stay in front of her, but I think Coach Kopel, when you're about to put him on the line like that and in the bonus, especially as this clock comes down under the third quarter, wanted her to just guard without fouling.
And she makes them both. Shot clock is off. 9-point lead, Wagner. It's what we had at intermission. "15 seconds left. She'll fire a 3. Yes! Her first field goal of the second half. And here's Robinson putting up a shot. No good for Lizzie there, and we're done with 3. 52-40. Wagner on top. Back with the final stanza in a moment right here on SDPB.
For over 55 years, Muth Electric has been powering progress across the Midwest. Our team of professionals deliver electrical solutions with innovation and safety at the core. We work with purpose, knowing that each project contributes to something bigger. Muth Electric, a partner in building a brighter future since 1970.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
And welcome back. We are in Watertown for the 7th place game of Class A girls basketball. Final day of the girls basketball season. Here at Class A, it's Wagner ahead of Lakota Tech by a score of 52-40. And it will be Lakota Tech starting the period with the basketball as Tyria Money checks in, number 3 for the Tatanka. And Isabella Shangru is going to throw up a shot, no good, fouled in the process. And that's going to be on Knutson, her 2nd.
Yeah, and as Shangru heads to the line, this is another area the Wagner Red Raiders have found a way to get to the foul line 18 times. This is only going to be the 10th attempt here for Lakota Tech.
Missed that one.
Yeah, and shooting it just at 50% right now, only 5 of 10. And even from the floor, the shooting splits right now. Wagner shooting 36%, Lakota Tech only 27%.
And it's good. Give her 18 on the day as we've got a sub coming in. Lizzie Robinson got a little extra break there as Money checks out. Wagner outscored Lakota Tech 20-17 in that 3rd period of play. And Ashlyn Kopel, 22 points, 18 rebounds, working on a 20-20 game, and we're gonna have, I believe, a jump ball. Yep, we will. Possession arrow, Wagner.
And Isabella Shangru, Coach Big Crow leaving her. She got 4 fouls right now, so we'll see if she decides to check her back into the game.
Yeah, Isabella on the bench and Amelia out there. According to the scoreboard, she has 4 personals. And they throw it down low. Kopel fade away short. Rebound. Her many horses lob ahead. Amelia Shangru counted in the foul.
And she's had a bunch of possessions just like that. Oftentimes she's playing the point of that defense, so it allows her, when they're able to get stops or create turnovers, she's got a great feel to burst down that court.
Yeah, great instincts for this 8th grader. Got a feeling we'll be calling her name quite a bit over the next few years. She collects on the free throw. There's Holzbauer in the front court for Wagner to Knutson. Kopel backs down, turns around, got it. And we've got a timeout called by Wagner here with 7:10 left to go. Full timeout. We'll step away for a moment. This is SDPB 3.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
Our Peterson Farm seed reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm seed reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
Get a look at the Lakota Tech huddle there. A lot of youth on this team. Mentioned earlier, 2 seniors, 1 junior, everybody else underclassmen. Wagner, only 1 senior on the entire roster. That's Ashlyn Kopel. And they got a lot of good juniors and sophomores on this Wagner team.
Yeah, both. This whole tournament really is littered with teams that has some really talented underclassmen and some programs, a lot of programs that are consistent state tournament teams, and I have a feeling some of them will continue to be.
Little weave run there, and now Lizzie Robinson lost the handle, picked up there by her many horses. Kate Robinson on the drive and the bucket. That's her first points of the day.
Yeah, nice aggressive baseline attack there by Kate Robinson.
Kopel, free, jumper, no. Rebound, Lizzie Robinson. Fires a three, short. Rebound, Kopel has it. That's rebound number 19 for her. And she'll drive, put it up and in. 26 points now for Ashlyn Kopel in her final game wearing a Wagner uniform.
Yeah, and they had a chance to cut that to 5 right there on that Lizzie Robinson three and just wasn't able to convert as Shangru with the tough finish. You've seen that a couple times with her getting downhill to that right hand.
She's having a marvelous day. 23 points. Madriski on the miss. Rebound to Tonka. Here they come. Lizzie Robinson trying to force the issue. Scoops it up and in. And a timeout called by Lakota Tech with 5:35 left. Watch this shot on the replay. Along the baseline. Oh.
The scoop right underneath Knutsen's arm right there. And that was good poise and good patience by Lizzie Robinson. Sometimes you get yourself into that situation and you're just gonna hurry your finish, and she did a nice job of slowing herself down, took that spin bounce and right underneath that defender's arms.
Don't forget, we've got boys basketball coverage coming next week. On all 3 channels, we begin Thursday, March 19th. Class AA out in Rapid City. That'll air on SDPB1. Class B from Aberdeen on SDPB2. And Class A also will be in Rapid City on SDPB3. You can watch every game online at sdpb.org/basketball. And in Watertown here, their boys did qualify, so they've been practicing here the last few days. Coach McClemon's got a good crew again this year.
Yeah, very nice crew led by his son, I believe, Jackson McClemons, and yeah, they'll be out in Rapid City, and lot of ability like normal with those programs that qualified both AA, A, and in B in the Aberdeen.
Yep. And I believe it's the first time ever we've had 2 tournaments in one city before, as we will get back to action here. Nedved back in the game, throws it over to Kopel, then to Knutz, and now back to Kopel, turnaround short. Rebound, Lizzie Robinson. Amelia Shangru ahead of the pack and scores.
And they got this down to 4. 5 of 6 from the floor in their last 6 possessions.
Yeah, they've had a lead of a dozen before as Wagner, but the Tatanka have fought back, and we've got a traveling on Holzbauer. Timeout on the court, 4:54 left. Final period. Wagner up by 4 right here on SDPB3.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Hey, buddy.
We got 4:54 left to go in regulation. The lead has shrunk to 4 for Wagner, playing Lakota Tech in the 7th place game. Along with Nate Kading, I'm Steve Toom. Bounce pass underneath, and that's her many horses, her first bucket of the game.
That was a great find there by Amelia Shangru. She's doing about everything right now. 25 points, and here they got a chance to knot it up.
Lizzie Robinson with the steal and the bucket. We're tied. She's got 17. What a run here by Lakota Tech as Kopel forces it up and in. And a timeout called by Wagner with 4:14 left. Watch this. This is all individual effort here. Stops, elevates, scores.
We've seen that a number of times here over these last few days where she can just get to a spot, and with the size and length that she has, there's not a whole lot that the defenders can do. But this little spurt has been keyed on Creighton turnovers, getting out in transition. Those guards, Amelia Shangru and Lizzie Robinson, being super aggressive downhill. Good things are happening right now when they're not settling for the three, right? They're still only 3 of 25 at 12% from the three, but they're putting a lot more pressure on the paint, and it's made a huge difference in their offensive output.
Yeah, Lakota Tech has made their last 5 field goals and points in the paint. Lakota Tech 36, Wagner 18. They've doubled them up. That was not the case at halftime, as Lakota Tech, team known for bombing in threes, but they've pushed the ball inside, and it has been effective.
Yeah, it's kind of a similar deal yesterday, as we talked about that in the first half. They were shooting a ton of threes, but they've only attempted 5 threes here in the second half. I think they were 3 of 20 at half, and they're 3 of 25 right now.
All right, Lakota Tech with the ball after the Wagner timeout. Lakota Tech only has 1 timeout left, and here's Shangru, 3, no, rebound. A good box out there by Nedved. She'll get the ball back from Kopel. Kopel in the corner, missed it. Lizzie Robinson, yet another rebound. She's in double figures in that department. She'll drive all the way and get some free throws.
In the transition defense of Wagner, you got to give credit to how fast Lakota Tech's pushing it up. But that was why that last timeout, and Coach Kopel was really disappointed in that. You got to try to get that basketball stopped much earlier than 6 feet away from the rim. And then mismatches do not matter in transition. You got to find a body, get that basketball stopped, and force them to try to make some passes.
The free throw is good. That foul, by the way, was on Nedved, her first, but it's the team's third. No fouls in this quarter at all on Lakota Tech. Got them both, and we're tied. Sub in, Breuer in, Holzbauer out for Wagner.
And that's an important piece with, as you mentioned, Steve, Amelia Shangru with 4, Isabella Shangru with 4 fouls as well, Kate Robinson with 3.
Izzy Robinson, 19 points, 11 rebounds. High post, Madrisky, oh, she traveled. Mental mistake there, turnover, Wagner, and turnovers really hurting Wagner right now. That's their 19th 3 in the contest for Lakota Tech. A 3 on the way, no. But there's Robinson, blocked by Kopel and out of bounds.
And there again, Wagner just a little bit slow to get matched up and find who they're guarding.
Oh, almost a steal, and it is stolen. Thrown ahead, Nedved drives, scores.
And Nedved takes the ice pack off the shoulder. Looks like she maybe has a little bit of a wrap on it potentially, but she's back in and just made a huge play.
And that ball turned over there, only the 4th turnover of the game for Lakota Tech.
It's like Willis Reed walking out of the locker room, Steve. None of our viewers even, they're all too young. All of our millennials that are tuning in to us.
I think I was about 6 years old when that happened. And here's a steal, outlet pass And it's tapped away, but Shangru gets it. Robinson gives way to Goings. Kicks it over to Isabella Shangru, back out there with 4 fouls. Amelia Shangru, bingo!
And finally gets one to go to take the first lead of the game, or excuse me, since the first half.
Long pass tapped away by Isabella Shangru, out of bounds. What a rally here by Lakota Tech. It seemed like they were all but out of it at the end of the third quarter, but they're on a 21-8 run here in the 4th period of play. And somebody thought they called a timeout, and the referee said, nope, no timeout called. And some of the Lakota Tech players were heading for the bench. They got to run back out onto the court. We play with 2:25 and counting. Kopel puts it on the floor, off balance. Jay got it.
That was tough, going off that right foot.
30.
Hangs in the way.
Robinson, 3, short. Rebound, Kopel with the rebound. Brings it up court by herself. Drives into the paint, off balance, got it again. 32 for her. And Robinson, oh, Nedved got bumped on that shoulder, and she goes down in pain again. And Holzbauer runs over to the scorer's table. Foul is on Nedved, second on her. Gets very quiet in the arena here as Nedved gets a good round of applause from everybody in the arena. She's just out there just on guts and guile. She'll go back with the trainers here as Holzbauer, number 12, in to replace her. Fresh shot clock.
And after getting a 1-point lead, Ashton Kopel with 2 big answers.
And that's going to be an air ball. Shangru kind of had not her feet under her quite right when she tried that 3-pointer. And of course she had Kopel nearby. Under a minute 40. Wagner nursing that 3-point lead. Kopel wanted to fire the 3, drove the baseline, lost it out of bounds. Another turnover.
Yeah, nice job of not fouling in that situation. The quick hands, knocking that basketball off her leg by Lizzie Robinson.
Robinson drives, throws it up off the window, and it's good. And a timeout by Lakota Tech. They have 2 left now. Wagner with 1 timeout left. We got a minute 22 on the clock. Wagner looked a little confused defensively there.
That's happened a few times in this 4th stanza here, and partially why this Lakota Tech team's been able to make a run. Not sure if there's some miscommunication on what defense they're in or what, but you can't allow a player like Lizzie Robinson to go undeterred to 8 feet away from the basket, 10 feet away from the basket, hit you with 1 quick inside-out move, and then got a point-blank finish.
Ashlyn Kopel at the moment, 32 points, 20 rebounds, 5 assists. Amelia Shangru, 28 points, 3 assists. Lizzie Robinson, 21 points, 12 rebounds. Bruyere, 14 points, 4 assists for Wagner. And we've got a 1-point game with a minute 22 left. And the Tatanka are going to drop back in their half-court defense as Wagner plays it in. Still no fouls called on Lakota Tech. Next foul on Wagner puts the Tatanka at the free throw line. Looks like a trap's coming here. And they'll throw it to Bruyere. Wants to get it back to Kopel. Bottled up. And a timeout called by Wagner, and that's their last timeout.
Yeah, and I think it looked like they were trying to just shorten this game up here even a little bit more, take some time off the shot clock. They still have 14 seconds left to operate, but their ability to not have this turn into a turnover and a run out as Lakota Tech has just been dynamic in transition, especially in this 4th quarter.
And with no team fouls, that's a plus and negative for Lakota Tech. That means they got to commit 5 fouls in a short period of time to send Wagner to the free throw line if they want to take that angle. on the plus side, that does mean that they can play aggressive and maybe take a few chances.
Yeah, and when you get to this point, 1-point game with 14 on the clock, you really want to try to defend without fouling, try to get a stop, create your stop, and then go. It'll be a different story that next time down the floor, depending on what happens offensively. Then you got to start talking about, all right, are we playing the foul game? And as you mentioned, Steve, it's a double-edged sword because they can be super aggressive, but it's also going to take some time to get them in the bonus.
The Robinson sisters, the Shangru sisters, and Goings, the starting 5 on the court for Lakota Tech. Wagner breaks the huddle. They've got Holzbauer in to replace the injured Nedved, who's still on the bench.
Wouldn't be surprised this ball just went right back to Ashlyn Kopel.
They're looking for her. They get it for her. She's got an opportunity, but too far under the basket. And I think they called her for traveling. Let's watch it again along the baseline. Yep.
Yeah, kind of shuffled that pivot foot. That was a good call by the baseline official.
Under a minute to go. Robinson puts her head down, scoops it up and in. Lizzie Robinson with 10 points in the fourth quarter. The Tatanka have the lead. Remember, Wagner is out of timeouts. About a 5-second difference between shot clock and game clock, and we've got a foul on the Tatanka, but it's not a shooting foul.
They're trying to, they don't want this to be on Amelia Shangru.
I think it's going to be on Lizzie Robinson, her third. Teams first. Shot clock now is off.
They're running that same exact action. Oh, a little fortunate.
And Madriski plucks it out of the air. Kopel, short, rebound to the Tatanka. Wagner's got a foul here. And Holzbauer trying to do so. They're playing keep away with 12 seconds left. Holzbauer finally commits the foul. She was trying to at half court, but with 10 seconds left, Wagner was trying to commit a foul, and Lakota Tech played keep away, and Lizzie Robinson at the line.
Yeah, and we've talked about it, 65% foul shooter.
Six of 8 today. Two-point lead.
And you get yourself into a situation here that if she makes this, you talk about fouling or defending, potentially taking a foul to not even allow them to get a three-point look.
And they've got fouls to give, and she calmly makes them both. Here comes Kopel. You know they're going to try to get a three-pointer away. It's short of the mark. Bruyere tries to save it. She was standing on the end line with 1.4 seconds left. And a timeout called by Lakota Tech. They don't want to take any chances here with 1.4 seconds left, as they have to play the ball in bounds, and they do not want a steal to happen.
Yeah, and still have one timeout if they can't get it in for some reason. But you mentioned it. They pretty much just got to secure this thing in bounds. Might get fouled early and head down to the other end, but what a comeback here by this Lakota Tech team. They didn't seem to have a whole lot going right for them when that game was hanging right at about 12 points for much of the third quarter, and then the start of the fourth, they absolutely came out. So far they've scored 27 points alone in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, they were down by a bunch at the end of the third quarter. It was 52-40. So they've overcome a 12-point deficit in this fourth quarter. And think about it, what that means for the confidence of this young team with only one senior in the starting lineup. That's Addison Goings. It'll be Shangru to trigger. They're going to throw it down court, and hold on. The scorer table was not ready. Laura Big Crow wants an explanation here. We're going to have to do the whole thing over again.
Yeah, the buzzer was sounding, I think, as that pass went for some reason.
All righty, here we go. Take two. They're going to throw it down court. Lizzie Robinson launches it, and the game is over. Lakota Tech wins on a fantastic comeback, 67-64. They claim 7th place, and Wagner finishes in 8th place after finishing in 7th place last year. A Herculean effort the last 2 days by Ashlyn Kopel. Today, 32 points, 20 rebounds. Bruyere had 14 points, 28 for Amelia Shangru, 25 for Lizzie Robinson to go with 12 rebounds and 7 assists. She was a force in that second half for Lakota Tech as they were down by a dozen here at the break, or at the end of the third quarter, I should say. But they come back and win 67-64 here on the final day of the tournament, and Ashlyn Kopel ends her career with a great individual effort, but her team finishes in 8th place. In a moment, we will have the presentation of the individual awards and the team trophies as well at the center of the court. What a game we have to start the day. Checking out some of the stats, 38% shooting for Wagner today, 34% for Lakota Tech. We'll have a full recap of the stats here after they hand out the individual medals and the team trophies as well. Ryan Neal, our public address announcer.
Good afternoon. We would like to present the awards to the teams that played for the 7th and 8th place games here this morning. To present the awards are Dr. Jeff Danielson, Chad Allison, and Chuck Wilson from the South Dakota High School Activities Association Board of Directors. Assisting with the team award presentation are representatives from the Activity Association Corporate Partners. John Allen from Sanford Health. Sergeant First Class Chris Fisher from the South Dakota Army National Guard. Brian Bisker from Foundation Donor First Premier Bank Card. The 8th place team in the Class A tournament is Wagner. Number 5, Mila Hopkins. Number 10, Matea Bruyere. Number 11, Olivia Podzinskimek. Number 12, Hannah Holzbauer. Number 13, Camry Link. Number 14, Braxton Nedved. Number 20, Raven Madriski. Number 22, Rayon Fubel. Number 23, Hayden Knutson. Number 24, Ashlyn Kopel. Number 30, Valencia Big Bear. Number 35, Tashay Medicine Bear. Number 40, Ariani Picotti. Number 45, Peyton Witchman. Number 51, Clara Sokop. Managers, Dash Kopel, Riggs Kopel, Eva Kildgaard, Tegan Lanou, and statistician Lyric Martin. Assistant coaches Courtney Baumgart, Travis Holliday, and Tara Copel. And head coach, Mr. Michael Copel. There will be a welcome home ceremony for Wagner is to be determined at this point. An announcement will be made on the school webpage. The 7th place team in Class A is Lakota Tech. Amelia Shingru, Tyria Money, Matea Cummings, Addison Goings, Kate Robinson, Lizzie Robinson, Andrea Sanchez, Reina Sanchez, Lydia Her Many Horses, Montea Messi, Isabel Shingru, managers Tayton Kilsmall and Talea Martin, assistant coach Corey Shingru, and head coach for Lakota Tech, Laura Big Crow. There will be a welcome home for Lakota Tech is to be determined at this time, and it will also be posted on their school's webpage. Fans, you may meet your team in the auxiliary gym on the east side of the arena. Thank you.
Congratulations to Lakota Tech. A great game. They finished in 7th place. We'll be back for more after this timeout right here on SDPB.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
A great comeback by Lakota Tech. They win over Wagner, claim 7th place. 67-64, the final score. Nate Kading standing by with head coach Laura Big Crow.
Coach, 12-point deficit going into that fourth quarter. What was the message to your team in those moments?
You know, we're young, and we've been feisty all year, and we've been playing some tough teams all year. So the message was, everything you have left inside of you girls, out on the floor. I want you guys to enjoy it all, experience it all, and be ready to come back again, because they will be back.
You mentioned that youth, ending on a victory here today. How important is that for your program? As I know, I'm sure you guys got bigger goals than 7th place moving forward.
Oh, absolutely. You know, for the history of our school only being open for 6 years, these girls want to build a legacy there, and that's exactly what they're doing. You know, we have Amelia, who's an 8th grader, and all of our sophomores and our juniors. We're coming back and we're building, and we want to keep building something special there, and it starts with these girls and their energy that they give on the court.
That's awesome, Coach. Congrats on the win. I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations indeed to Lakota Tech, rallying from 12 points down going into the fourth period to win 67-64. Let's check out some of the highlights here from this second half of play, and it was exciting on both ends of the court, as you see Madriski getting the bucket there, but Lizzie Robinson really took over in the second half. 21 of her 25 points in the second half. She kicked in with 12 rebounds as well. She got to the free throw line pretty frequently as well. Some good passing and attacking in the paint. That was key for Lakota Tech in that second half. Wagner used a couple of deep bombs to stay in it. Here's a mid-range jumper up and in for Lakota Tech. Then outside, it was Bruyere had a big game with 14 points, but what can you say about the 8th grader Amelia Shangru with 28 points today, Nate?
She was special today. Hit that huge three on that right wing. Her first and only one, but such good things happening going at the basket. Also had 4 assists and one huge one in that fourth quarter, dropping it down for an easy basket. And Coach talked about it, only an 8th grader, have a host of young athletes. So as she said, get used to seeing them here.
And what can you say about Ashlyn Copel, one of the greatest players of all time, finishes her career, not on the note that she wanted to, but 32 points, 20 rebounds today for that young lady. Also handed out 5 assists as well. As we get a look at the team stats. Again, neither team, well, Lakota Tech struggled from 3. Wagner actually pretty decent from 3-point land today. And think about this, the rebounds. Look at that, plus 20 for Wagner.
In the big thing, if you go a line down on that, those turnovers, 23 turnovers, only compared to 5 for Lakota Tech. Lakota Tech was able to get up 76 shots. Wagner only 60 shots. Basically, free throw line ended up being pretty even, but those turnovers and being able to take care of the basketball doomed Wagner today, and it kind of did earlier in this tournament as well.
And Lakota Tech claims 7th place here at the Class A tournament. We'll take a timeout. We'll get you set up for our next contest between Sioux Valley and West Central. Back with more here from Watertown in a moment. You're watching SDPB 3.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple, it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota, for South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
SDPB brings you the South Dakota Boys State Basketball Tournament. You can catch all the action Thursday, March 19th through Saturday, March 21st. For more information, including the multiple ways to watch the games live, go to sdpb.org/basketball. Complete coverage of the South Dakota Boys State Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Dakota Bank and SD Corn. And welcome back to the Class A Girls Basketball Tournament here on SDPB 3. Along with Nate Kading, I'm Steve Toom. We just watched a dandy of a game for 7th place, and now we have the Consolation Championship game coming up here between West Central and Sioux Valley. Before we get to our look here at West Central, I want to remind you about In Play with Craig Maddock. It brings you in-depth conversations about everything happening in South Dakota sports, and each episode dives into the players, the programs, and the legends who shape the sports landscape of the Mount Rushmore State. You can find the podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcast. And if you enjoy it, leave us a 5-star review so more fans can discover the show. Craig Maddock, In Play. Check it out. And Craig, of course, out in Rapid City covering AA girls basketball. And he'll be out there next week as well. And that's the thing with Craig. I normally catch him at football time. But in basketball, we seem to go different directions. And because both tournaments are in Rapid City next year or next week for A and AA, I'll finally get a chance to see him in person.
see the GOAT in person right there. And he's going to be treated to a great one tonight, as we are here in Watertown as well. For that Brandon Valley O'Gorman game, the third meeting, or excuse me, only second meeting between those two, but that'll be two Titans going at it.
Absolutely. I believe that's the third year in a row for that matchup. Here we've got West Central and Sioux Valley matching up against each other. And West Central coming in to the tournament at 18-4. They lost to Makpia-Luta on opening day. Then they beat Wagner yesterday 46-38. Joe Caffrey is their head coach. And the last time they were here was in 2022. They finished 3rd place. In 2008, they won the championship. Back in 1999 as well did West Central win the title. They beat Tri-Valley in the regions, then they got past Mobridge Pollock in the Sodak 16, fell to unbeaten Makpia-Luta in the opening round, but beat Wagner, held off that great performance from Ashlyn Kopel yesterday, and they come in to the tournament. Again, they've got a lot of youth on this team as well. Only one senior in that starting lineup, being brought to you today by First Dakota Bank. And that senior is Abby Thornton, and she's heading off to Dakota State to play soccer. But the player that makes it go is Casey Jatan, the sophomore, averaging 18 points per game.
Yeah, she's their only player that's been in double figures both games here this tournament, at 14 on Thursday versus Makpia-Luta, at 16 yesterday. And one of the big reasons why they were able to have success yesterday, they had 2 others in double figures with Mackenzie Schoenhovd and then Ellie Knight at 10 and Mackenzie at 11 yesterday, that were able to get it done in a lower scoring game, beating Wagner 46-38.
I also forgot Elia Kramer, also a senior in that starting lineup. So 2 seniors in that starting lineup for West Central, and they will go off the bench with a sophomore and Bailey Stallman, Ella Harden, a freshman, and Kaylee Schultz, a sophomore. So again, we talked about earlier, a lot of youth, and West Central certainly has that in their favor. Their losses on the year to Sioux Falls Christian, Lennox, Coleman Egan, and Rapid City Christian during the regular season. We will take a break and come back and meet the Cossacks of Sioux Valley, Class A basketball, right here on SDPB 3.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
They built the ships that fought at Guadalcanal. They riveted the wings on the planes that bombed Germany. They saved the wounded at Anzio. They broke codes and boundaries, and in so doing, created an enduring legacy. The real stories never before shared from the women who were there. Join us to celebrate the hidden history of the women of World War II, the untold stories.
Tonight after basketball on SDPB.
Getting ready for the Consolation Championship here at Class A Girls Basketball. It's Sioux Valley taking on West Central. Let's meet the Cossacks of Sioux Valley. They were 21-2 on the regular season. Jamie Granum is their head coach, and they have played a very tough schedule on the year. They were the Consolation champions last year. Then you have to go back to 2014 for their last tournament appearance. 2009 also they appeared. 2008 they finished third. They also finished third in 2000, and they were also third back in 1980 when they played in the B tournament. Only two classes back then. Here's their march to the state tournament. They had to beat Dual and Clark Willow Lake to get out of Region 2A, and then they beat perennial powerhouse St. Thomas More in the Sodak 16 by 20 points. They fell to Lennox, but they got back on track yesterday with a better offensive performance against Lakota Tech.
No question, they were held to 0 3-pointers against Lennox in their quarterfinal game, and they averaged right around 9 or 10 threes a game. They were 0 of 16, a little bit more of a normal output yesterday, 9 of 34. Had some their key players get themselves going a little bit. Kaylee Craddock with 19 yesterday. Talia Vincent 4 of 12 from 3, had 12 points. Amari Ward with 14 points and 13 rebounds. Those three were really huge in their victory yesterday over Lakota Tech.
First Dakota starting lineups here. Talia Vincent and her dad, Bill Vincent, just got his 500th career win as the boys basketball coach, and her mom, Jill, coaches volleyball at Sioux Valley. Liberty Trigstad plans to play some college ball, hasn't committed yet. Her mom is a 29-year Army service member, Lieutenant Colonel and Battalion Commander over in Brookings. Amari Ward, two-time state champion on the cheer team for Sioux Valley. Skylar Knutson starts. She is a junior, plays basketball in the offseason for the South Dakota North Stars. Is also a National Honor Society member. And then you have Kaylee Craddock, who's committed to USD. She's a junior, and she helped her family open the ice cream shop in Volga when she was 12 years old, and she also helped develop the menu there. So she's also skilled in ice cream, and that is A+ in my book.
I just learned something new about Kaylee Craddock today. That's fantastic. Gonna have to swing into the ice cream shop in Volga.
We are just moments away from the introduction of the starting lineups here. It's West Central and Sioux Valley. These teams did not play during the regular season. Ryan Neal is our public address announcer. We'll turn it over to him and meet the teams battling for 5th place.
behalf of the South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard, welcome you to this championship session of the State A Girls High School Basketball Tournament. This tournament is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs. We hope you will enjoy the games and support your athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. Now let's meet our starting lineups in alternating fashion. At one guard for West Central, 5'8" and a freshman, number 1, Ellen Knight. And a guard for the Cossacks, 5'6" and a senior, number 10, Delia Vincent. And a guard for West Central, 5'8" and a junior, number 5, Mackenzie Scotto. A guard for the Cossacks, 5'6" and a junior, number 12, Liberty Trickster. At forward for West Central, 5'10" and a sophomore, number 10, Casey Jatois. At guard for the Cossacks, 5'6" and a senior, number 21, Amari Wood. At guard for West Central, 5'8" and a senior, number 14, Ayla Kramer. At center for the Cossacks, 6 foot and a junior, number 24, Skylar Knudsen. At forward for West Central, 5'8" and a senior, number 23, Evie Darker. And a guard for the Cossacks, 5'11" and a junior, number 32, Katie Craddock. Assistant coaches for the Trojans, Jamie Jensen and Tony Lanham. Assistant coaches for Sioux Valley, Brooke Mather, Leo, and Carly Granum. Head coach for the Trojans, Joe Caffrey. And head coach of the Cossacks, Mr. J.D. Granum.
Drew Sweeter, Matthew Berger, Genevieve Dement, Osborne, your officials for today's contest. Trojans in the blue uniforms, the white numbers and letters, the home whites, the navy blue numbers and letters for Sioux Valley. This is for 5th place. Sioux Valley won this game a year ago out in Spearfish. Can they repeat? West Central wants to go home with a W in their last game. Thornton, Craddock meet in the center circle. And here we go. And it's Trickstad who controls it, gives right away to Vincent. Craddock steps outside. Trickstad with the ball.
They tried to free Kaylee Craddock as Ward lets one fly. Tried to get her off a double diagonal screen. Well defended by the Trojans.
Oh, miscommunications as Knight throws the ball. And Jatan wasn't even looking for it. So a quick turnover there for West Central, just underway. This for 5th place. Vincent struggled the first day, better day yesterday. Ward, very quick, good track athlete. Craddock, 3, short. Rebound, Ward fighting for it, taken away by Knight. Ellie Knight, 10 points yesterday. 8 rebounds as well.
Both teams just playing man-to-man defense right now.
Kramer with the ball, gives way to Thornton, takes it down the lane. It went off of somebody's foot. They're going to say off the foot of Knutson.
Yeah, and both teams right now, this is going to be a good matchup back and forth. They're led by skilled guards. Neither team really have a ton of size, as there was good execution, but Skonholm a little short, set her back screen, couldn't finish.
Yep, had the good look. Craddock gives way to Trigstad. She'll back down into the paint, turn left hand, rolls in. Liberty Trigstad, the 5'6" junior, averages 13 points a game, also 3.5 rebounds.
Yeah, and that's a welcome sight for Coach Granum right there. She's been an important piece, but only 2 of 12 yesterday and 1 of 11 on Thursday. Hasn't had quite the tournament that she would have hoped so far.
Thornton puts it up, bounces off the back of the iron. It's loose on the floor, and it's going to be out of bounds to Sioux Valley. Liberty Trigstad, over 700 career points for her. And she participates in volleyball and track as well. Handles the ball now in the left wing. Knutson looking inside, Craddock posting up. She has to step outside.
Yeah, they tried to run a set there to get Craddock in the middle of the paint. Just didn't like what she had.
Craddock, 3, short. Rebound pulled down by Jaton.
Seen a couple of the misses there, just short.
Not surprising.
Not surprising when you get to this point, is Ellie Knight with the left hand.
And we're going to have free throws here for Thornton, as she was fouled on the putback attempt. And they're going to catch Knutson with the foul, and that is her first. Quickly a sub to the scorers table. That's Macy Top for the Cossacks.
Yeah, when you get to this point, it's always interesting to see the coaching staffs and their philosophies. As you can see, Coach Granum going to his bench pretty early. These teams, again, just like our first game today, our 7th and 8th place game, not super deep, go about 6-7 each.
Both free throws missed by Thornton, a 51% free throw shooter. Vincent couldn't fire the 3 in the corner. Gets it up top now.
And Vincent really got herself going in that game yesterday after not hitting a 3 in their quarterfinal matchup. Hits 4 big ones yesterday.
Down low, tapped away. Jaton ends up with it. Ooh, I think got away there with maybe carrying the ball. Here's the 3, Skonholm, yes.
It's a nice smooth look there from Mackenzie Skonholm.
Craddock up top with the ball. With a little weave, and Ward down the lane scoops it up and in.
And in Sioux Valley's dribble drive motion, they try to get into those brush cuts where they're passing, just cutting hard right into that primary defender.
Tapped away, Craddock gets the steal. Trigstad the outlet, stops on the perimeter. Ward, 3, and bounces in.
The friendly roll there by Amari Ward. And we mentioned she had a very nice game yesterday with 14 points and 13 rebounds as the nice drop off by Casey Jaton.
Yep, Thornton gets the bucket. Vincent, 3, no. Rebound, Knight gets around Ward, pass up ahead. Jaton pulls up, got it.
It's a nice quick pitch ahead there by Ellie Knight, and one bounce and you see Casey Jaton's scoring ability.
Here's Vincent, committed to Dakota State for basketball, but she lost the handle, taken away.
I think that was Macy Top there, actually, I believe.
Yep, you're correct, Macy Top, and there's the finish by Kramer. Yeah. Talia Vincent committed to Dakota State for basketball, and we are going to have a blocking foul and a couple of free throws. But first, the timeout on the court. 3:27 left, first quarter. 9-7 West Central on top. We'll take a break and come back with more in just a moment. This is SDPB 3.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
Getting a look inside the arena here in Watertown. West Central battling Sioux Valley for 5th place. Free throws coming up for Sioux Valley. Ward to the line. That last foul was on Kramer, her first, team's first. Ward at the free throw line this year, 67%.
She's had a couple nice rolls there. Got a soft touch. Had the three that bounced about 3 times and in, and there you saw it with the free throw.
And missed the second one. Jatan clears it away. Quickly up court.
Kaylee Schultz in the game, yeah, for the Trojans.
Step back three, no. Schultz battling for it, but Top clears it away. Looking for Ward. Ward will give it up to Craddock. See what Trigstad's gonna do. Backs down against Nice. There's the open shooter, and it's stuck. And that was the attempt by Macy Top. Well, somebody's gonna have
they
to...
need to get an athlete. Colt Gary coming out. West Central basketball player. Give it up for Colt right there.
You bet.
The MVP. Hopefully he didn't hurt himself. Coach Hollenbeck would not be happy going into Rapid City.
Fortunately, we didn't have to bring out a ladder or pile up cheerleaders. I've seen that before.
Yeah, Lord knows you or I weren't getting it, Steve.
Oh, no, my jumping days are behind me as we get back to action. Jatan with the ball on the handoff by Thornton. There's a fake. Schultz, the drive across the lane, stops. Thornton puts it on the floor, and she was bumped on her approach to the basket. That's going to be on Ward, her first, team's second.
Yeah, they ran that screen-to-screener action, their previous underneath out of bounds, and Thornton wasn't even expecting it.
Vincent lines up a three, yes! Talia Vincent with the tray. 35% beyond the arc this year.
And they get so many three-point looks off transition, sprinting to that line with their shooters and Vincent and Ward and Trigstad and Craddock.
Out of bounds. Got away from Schultz. It will go to Sioux Valley with 2:11 left here in this first quarter. Been an entertaining game so far. Mentioned Vincent, committed to Dakota State to play basketball. Close to 1,000 points in her career, 944 coming into tournament play as Craddock gets sandwiched inside. Ward, another three.
Yeah, she got the shot initially blocked, Kaylee Craddock, but came up with her own rebound and the kick out to Amari Ward. Her third three-point make of the game so far.
She has 9 points, and that's chipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Sioux Valley. Ward, 9 points, 3 of 5 shooting, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Also has a free throw, a rebound, an assist. They'll throw it inside. Skonhovd missed it. Rebound fought for, loose on the floor, and Top is there to pick it up. Long pass to Craddock. We're seeing a lot more long passes today, too. Three, yes, Vincent.
They just do such a good job of sprinting to their spots in transition, as Coach Caffrey wants to talk about it. And then they're just well schooled. If they don't have that initial on the strong side, they want to get to the second side in transition as fast as possible. Oftentimes as a coach, defensively, you're talking about you want to guard the most dangerous people. So they try to use that against you by getting it to that second side in a hurry.
Against Lennox, Sioux Valley didn't hit a three-pointer at all. They were much better yesterday against Lakota Tech, and when this Sioux Valley team is hitting three-pointers, they can beat anybody in the state. And right now, they're off to the hot start from three-point land, 4 of 9. So of their 12 field goals, 9 of them have been three-point attempts.
Coming into the tournament, 232 made threes in their game. Or in all their games, and they have multiple threats like that. But that's got to be a key. Anytime you're playing this Cossacks team, guarding the three-point line, going to be #1 on the scouting report.
Schultz with the ball, near steal by Ward. Schultz gets it back, drives, open, runner, no, foul. I think this one's going to be against Sioux Valley on the floor. Liberty Trigstad, her first, team's third.
Yeah, I think they got Trigstad on the checkout right there, I believe.
Back to Knight, yes. Ellie Knight, her first points of the game. And then a steal, and that's Jatan making it happen.
And Jatan stuck around and stole that inbounds pass. The inbounder was not expecting it.
About 10-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Top bounce pass, Craddock in a crowd, and we're going to have, I think, a jump ball. Indeed, possession arrow, Sioux Valley.
And you can see they're just swarming Kaylee Craddock. Anytime she catches it on the block, had 3 defenders right there. Kaylee Schultz being one of them.
Top wants to throw it in. Trigstad catches it, pulls it back out. They got plenty of time to operate with.
You can see West Central trying to go underneath those brush cuts.
Top with the rebound off the Vincent miss. And she was fouled along the baseline. I think they're going to catch Knudsen, or Schultz rather. Her first, team second.
Yeah, shot clock off here now.
They're going to go quick. Trigstad will get some free throws. She got loose along the baseline, and Jatan had to commit the foul, her first. Trigstad to the line. On the year, 88%. She is a junior.
Yeah, and she's her progression as a player has been a big reason for Sioux Valley's continued success. Averaged 13 points a game, over 13 points a game coming into the tournament, and provided them another high-level scoring threat to go along with Craddock's versatility and Vincent's shooting ability, and Amari Ward can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, with Trigstad and Vincent, you almost have like 2 combination point and shooting guards out there. Missed, brought down by Craddock. We're done with 1 period of play. It's Sioux Valley 19, West Central 14. Back in a moment, right here on SDPB 3.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land, committed to the future. Bank West.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
There you look at Sioux Valley fans here in the arena at Watertown. Their team up by 5. There's a look at the West Central fans. West Central starts the period with the basketball, and a near steal by Ward, but Knight takes it away.
We're trying to free Ellie Knight in some space with a little flare screen. Amari Ward did a nice job getting over the top of it.
Bounce pass into the paint, thrown outside, but it was saved. Nice play there. I think it was Skonholt. No, check that Knight who made the save. 6 on the shot clock. Kramer throws it up and does not touch the backboard. Shot clock, or doesn't touch the rim, hit the backboard. Shot clock violation.
Yeah, the possession just kind of started a bit out of sorts there for the West Central Trojans, and that's where you see passing is just so important. When they were delivering those, it was high passes, low passes. It's hard to stay in rhythm that way.
Keating kept the dribble alive, had her shot blocked by Knight. Miley Keating into the game, number 20. Here's Knight all the way, throws it up, no. Trigstad the rebound. Comes down court with a head of steam. Puts it up, no. Good defense by Knight, who gets the rebound. Chiton, a little hesitation, scores. What a move there.
And she just fought through that contact, used that off arm to continue to shed that defender. Yeah, and this is where they try to get you in that mixer, keep that middle of the floor open, and they're really good at going into those dribble post-ups, not getting a hurry into the paint here, as you can see from Keating.
Yep, Keating with some good footwork in the paint there. Skonhovd the foul, her first. Keating has had a good tournament coming off the bench, but an air ball on that free throw.
Little shy on that one. It's only the second free throw attempt for her of the tournament. She was 0 for 1. Had an and one opportunity yesterday against Lakota Tech.
And missed that one. Tip to the outside. Knight controls it for the Trojans. Number 2 into the game. That's Bailey Stahlman for West Central. Thornton. His way to Knight. A 3 on the way, short. Skonhovd and Trigstad fighting for it. Jump ball, possession arrow, Sioux Valley.
Yeah, right now, West Central, 5 turnovers so far in this game. And Sioux Valley does not have a single, or excuse me, they do have a couple. They have 3, but still a couple extra possessions for them.
Ward drives, Trigstad 3, yes! The lead is 6 for Sioux Valley.
Yeah, and when you allow them to get going from 3 like this.
3 on the way is short. Trigstad with a good box out, collects the rebound. She's looking up court, drives, shovels it off to Vincent, 3, yes!
And Vincent was just licking her chops there, spotted on that wing for a long time, and Trigstad finds her.
9-point lead, 5:20 and counting here in quarter number 2. Stahlman, bounce pass, all alone, Knight, great finish. Breaks up a little run there by Sioux Valley, a 6-0 run. Keating throws outside to Vincent, thought about it. Craddock, a long 3, yes!
And I mentioned it, when you allow a team like this to make a few early, the waterfall can just start running on you, and that's how it is right here.
Knight trying to make something happen. Skonhovd in the right corner, dribbles across the paint, puts it up, and she was fouled, and she'll get some free throws. When we come back from this timeout, 4:30 left to go until halftime, 28-18, Sioux Valley on top. Back in a moment. This is Class A girls basketball, SDPB 3.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, or your forever friends and your fur kids too. For your better half or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Nine to 4, Sioux Valley has outscored West Central here in this second period of play. All three-pointers for Sioux Valley. Along with Nate Kading, I'm Steve Toom. West Central is going to have some free throw opportunities here.
Yeah, 21 of their 28 points right now from deep for the Cossacks. After they've really had it rolling from out there both yesterday and today.
Skonhovd, a junior, averages 7.5 points, 3.5 rebounds per game.
And Skonhovd actually had moved up into the area into Hartford from Oklahoma, so she was a welcome addition to this Trojans team.
Yep, she connects on both. The lead is 8, and the press is broken.
You can see a little defensive adjustment here from the Trojans going into their 2-3.
Oh, nearly stolen. Craddock shovels it to the corner. Vinson misses the 3. Craddock fighting for the rebound. We have a pile up on the floor and a jump ball. Possession arrow, West Central. And there'll be some pressure in the backcourt. Stallman will throw it in to Knight. Knight, really smooth point guard, 5'8" and a freshman. Plays very, very well, beyond her years.
Sioux Valley tries to influence you to attack with your left hand, and there's a nice off-ball cut and find. Ellie Knight with the finish, and Thornton on the assist.
Lead is cut to 6, and now pressure. 3 seconds left, and they get it across the timeline. Down low, blocked out of bounds by Skonhovd on the attempt by Macy Top. Good transition defense here. Nice job by number 5. Top to trigger it in. Trigstad throws it outside, and she was fouled, hits the deck.
Yeah, probably a good foul as that Talia Vincent shot found the bottom of the net, as you'd expect when she gets an open one.
Foul, I believe, was on Stallman. It is her first. Team second. Open shooter in the corner is Vincent, but that's short. Rebound, Knight pulls it away from Craddock. Thornton drives, gets loose, blocked by Craddock. Nice defense there by number 32.
It was a good quick spin there by Thornton. Just Craddock had a little bit too much length that was able to deflect that from behind.
Trigstad for 3, in and out. Rebound fought for. Stallman pulls it away and hands off to Skonhovd. Finds Knight in the backcourt. Floats it up, and it won't fall, and Craddock another rebound. Throws to the corner. Good ball movement by Sioux Valley. See if they can find the open perimeter shooter. Ward, Vincent, plenty of time to work with. Ward, 3, short. Rebound, Stallman.
Yeah, we've seen a few from the Cossacks that are about the NBA range, couple feet behind the three-point line.
Yep, my, how the game has changed. Pass into the paint, tapped away, recovered. Jatan, mid-range jumper, yes. She's got 8. The lead is 4. A little bit of a dry spell here for Sioux Valley.
Yeah, ever since West Central switched to this zone and they try to be.
3 is short. Ward drives and finally breaks a 3-minute scoring drought.
And that's the one thing that they've been able to do against the zone is create second chance opportunities. Their second offensive rebound on it, and they almost came up with a third, but Bailey Stallman won a 50-50 battle.
Traveling the call, turnover Trojans. They'll get Kramer and Schultz into the game. Stallman and Skonhovd, also Thornton going to the bench.
Yeah, and Ella Harden checking in her first time, the freshman for the Trojans.
So the minute 33 left, the lead is 6 for Sioux Valley. Ward's gonna get a break as we have a new sub in there. That's Avery Schmuck. 8th grader, number 14, handles the ball now. Very good shooter.
Yeah, she played some nice minutes for the Cossacks after not playing in their quarterfinal game.
And just knocks down a 3-pointer. She had 7 yesterday.
She's got such a smooth-looking shot.
Knight throws it up, can't crawl over the rim. Rebound to Schmuck, outlet. Vincent had it taken away by Kramer. Outlet to Knight. Yes, counted in the foul.
And Ellie Knight, after getting downhill and missing the first one, she was able to still be out in front of the play off that turnover and converts the second one.
Craddock the foul, her first. Under a minute to go now. And that one spins around, but it falls. And here comes a trap, and it's taken away by Schultz. Bounce pass, Knight floats it up. No, Craddock with the rebound. Missed opportunity there for West Central. Look out, players flying into the scorers table on the other side. Almost ran into Ryan Neal over there. Ball stays with Sioux Valley as West Central cranking up the pressure.
Sioux Valley giving them some possessions right now, kind of careless with their passing. They tried to run a free throw break on the last one, and West Central had anticipated that pass up the sideline.
Vincent wide open, yes. She's got 12 points, all on 3-pointers. Shot clock is off, the lead 9. Let's see what the Trojans can do here, the final moments. And Schmuck trying to foul intentionally there. That is her first.
Yeah,
that's only their 3rd team foul.
Coach Granum was trying to get Amari Ward into the game, and they still have one more foul to give if they choose to use it. But Ward's one of their better on-ball defenders, so they wanted her in the game. Put her on Ellie Knight.
And she almost got a steal there. Knight working against Ward. Pass. Here comes Kramer, and she'll draw a foul.
That's going to be Craddock's 3rd foul, I believe.
That is her 3rd foul. That's big with 9.5 seconds left.
And Craddock, their leading scorer, has actually been relatively quiet today. He's only attempted 3 shots, 3 points, all from the three-point land.
She does have 5 rebounds. Free throws good by Kramer. Plenty of time for Sioux Valley to set something up, but the pressure is going to make it difficult. Vincent Ward, the middle of the court. Schmuck, open, 3, no. And that's how we will end the first half of basketball. It's been a good one. 36-29, Sioux Valley on top of West Central. We'll be back with more in a moment from the Class A tournament. This is SDPB.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. From sunup to sundown, they're turning quarters into the dollars that drive our rural economy. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Halftime here of the Consolation Championship game. Sioux Valley ahead of West Central, 36-29. Well, coming up tonight, we expect some really good action in the third place and in the championship game. Makpialuta back in the championship game. They finished runner-up last year. They got a chance to win it all this year. They are led by a great player in Ashlyn Carlo Blunt. We had a chance to catch up with her the other day before the tournament started. We had an opportunity to talk to her about a lot of things, including, her legacy at that school. Let's roll that.
I want people to remember my smile on the court. I feel like I try to always have a smile on my face, because I love this sport and I'm really thankful to be able to healthy and be able to play and to represent my people. And I feel like I just want the people to remember me as a good player, not only on the court but off the court. I hope that when I play, my personality shines through, and I teach people to play with good sportsmanship and to play with thankfulness and to play with love. Play with love for the game and for your teammates and for yourself and for the people watching you. I hope that's what showed from my career, and I can't believe there's only 3 more games left of me in a Makpialuta jersey. I get a little sad when I think about it, but I've made a lot of great memories and a lot of good friendships with these years, and so I couldn't be more thankful and blessed.
An outstanding young lady on the basketball court, and Nate, she's achieved a lot off the basketball court as well for that school.
No question. You look at her impact, and you even see when she's on the court how everyone looks to her and the leadership that she provides, and that carries on off the floor as well. You constantly see different things out in those hometowns that she's in the community. She's running basketball camps for young people. She's getting involved in different things along with the LNI tournament and just a special all-around person and player.
Yeah, we'll get to see her tonight in that championship game. And don't forget to follow SDPB Sports on your mobile device all season long. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be sure to browse all of our action and award photos by searching SDPB on Flickr. Tell us where you're watching the games from and read some of our great stories about the players and the coaches and the teams here in South Dakota. Some great videos on that webpage, sdpb.org/basketball. We'll take a timeout, come back and review the first half of this 5th place game here at the Class A Girls Basketball Tournament. This is SDPB.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station at Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Here at halftime of our Consolation Championship game, Class A Girls Basketball Tournament, I'm Steve Toom. He's Nate Kading. 36-29. Sioux Valley leading West Central, and West Central just kind of hanging around because Sioux Valley, they've got their offense going via the three-pointer.
Pretty clean overall game here so far in the first half. Sioux Valley shooting 40% overall from the floor, 43% from three on 9 of 21 made three-pointers, only turned it over 5 times. West Central just haven't been able to get it going quite as much from three, only 5 attempts, 2 made field goals, but they are shooting 38% from the floor and only 6 turnovers. So both teams valuing the possession right now. The biggest difference in the game, as the rebounding battle is also very even, has been the three-point line and the ability for Sioux Valley to get 9 made threes in one single half, which is crazy for a high school team.
Yeah, but that is their MO. They didn't do that well against Lennox, didn't make any at all. Came back, had a better performance against Lakota Tech, but this team, when they're knocking down those threes, like Talia Vincent just did right there, they're a different team. Meanwhile, we've seen that nice cut to the paint several times for West Central.
Yeah, West Central, they move very well off the basketball. play kind of, they'll run some different set actions to try to create advantages, but from there, they're flowing in their motion system. Ellie Knight leads them with 10 right now. Casey Jaton, their leading scorer, with 8. For Sioux Valley, getting production from a variety of people, 5 in the scoring column. Talia Vincent, as you mentioned, with 12. Amari Ward, 11. Their Liberty Trigstead with 7, and their leading scorer, Kaylee Craddock, held to 3 points, but she has been a force on the glass with 5 rebounds in that first half.
Yeah, rebounding dead even, and I think that's a big plus for West Central, as Sioux Valley has a little more size in their lineup. Turnovers pretty even as well, but the difference, that three-point line, 9 of 21 for Sioux Valley.
And Sioux Valley has been able to knock down threes in transition. West Central started off that first half playing man-to-man. They got them out of that, and then they were ended up, as that first half wore on, West Central was freeing them up, playing that 2-3, and Sioux Valley knocked down some threes even against that. So we'll see what Coach Caffrey decides to start off this second half in defensively. And I'm sure he talked a lot about trying to run this group off the three-point line, try to knock their rhythm off, force them to put the basketball on the floor, force them to get into some more two-point attempts.
Macy Top will throw it in. She starts the second half, came in as a reserve in the first half, but gets a lot of minutes for the Sioux Valley team. Craddock handles the ball. Now to Vincent. Down low, Craddock pushed outside. Ward the long three, no, but the long rebound corralled by Jaton.
And they love to start off halves or coming out of timeouts, and there as Top picks up a foul as she was trying to recover back on defense, but they try to free Kaylee Craddock inside a lot, coming out of ATOs or dead ball situations. West Central did a nice job of defending. They actually switched that diagonal screen and didn't allow Craddock anything easy.
Jaton in the corner gives way to Thornton. Outside, Kramer with it to the bucket, got it. Kramer with 6.
Right to that right hand there from Kramer. Nice downhill attack.
Ward with the drive outside. No shot there for Top. Good ball movement by Sioux Valley. Trigstad down low. And she'll spin and miss it. And it's picked up by Knight. Looking ahead for Kramer. Bounce past Jaton. Puts it up and in. She's in double figures with 10.
Number situation, quick passing there. Threaded the needle to Jaton for the easy one.
Vincent, 3 ball short. Kramer with the rebound. Skonhovd in the front court. See what the Trojans do. They'll pass it around the perimeter, looking inside. Thornton steps out to take a pass. Jaton open, can't fire the 3, and is bumped by Vincent on her approach to the basket.
Yeah, and West Central tries to stay spaced around the perimeter. They'll get into the different UCLA screens, flex screens, kind of an old school Wisconsin style swing offense a little bit.
Top with the foul, her second. Skonhovd with the drive. Got bottled up by Ward. Knight got it. Picked up the loose ball and scored.
Right time, right place, right there from Ellie Knight.
Sioux Valley very much in attack mode as Ward just went down the lane, scoops it in with the left hand, and Sioux Valley wants a quick 30-second timeout.
They were outscored there early. West Central on a 6-0 run to start this quarter, and Jamie Granum wants to visit about some things defensively and what they got going on offensively.
We mentioned earlier boys basketball next week. 2 tournaments in Rapid City, Class A on SDPB 1, and then Class AA on SDPB 1, Class A on SDPB 3. We'll start on Thursday, March 19th. Class B is on SDPB 2. In catch every single game online, sdpb.org/basketball.
I'm not sure if there's a better couple weeks in the calendar year, Steve.
Yo, I love this time
That's
of
just
year.
me, but we got all the high school action going on. We got the college conference tournaments. We got NAIA national tournament. We got D2 national tournament. We got Selection Sunday tomorrow.
It's a great time of the year, and we get back to action here in Watertown. Thornton in the corner. Quick pass, Skonhold wants to drive, bottled up, jump ball, good defense. Possession arrow, Trojans. Shot clock remains at 21. Jatan fakes the three, steps back, fires, yes.
Shot fake there, got that defender to fly by and right into that sidestep three-pointer. Pretty smooth there from Casey Jatan.
Pass out of bounds off of Vincent. She and Top miscommunicate. Turnover, Cossacks. 5:19 left. We're tied at 38. 9-2 run here in this third quarter for West Central. Pass to Thornton. Bowler pass is tipped. Trigstad picks it up, and there's a foul in the backcourt on Jatan. That is her second. Or are they going to? Yep, they got Jatan.
Yeah, and after seeing a lot of teams with picking up full court presses and half court traps, these are two teams in this tournament that a little bit more dialed down on keeping the basketball in front, not taking as many chances, and not as hectic of a style.
Three-pointer, Vincent, 15 on the afternoon.
And she's really loosened up here for about a game and a half. She was struggling from that three, and over the second half yesterday and then the entire game today, it's been a huge threat for them.
Yeah, did not score at all against Lennox in the opening round. Kramer with the ball, shut down by Top. Skonhold thinking about the three, puts it on the floor and scores. Give her 7 today.
It's a nice middle attack right there by Skonhold and the finish.
Craddock steps out to take a pass. Trigstad got loose, but misses the shot.
They've ran that multiple times. That's the first time then they've been able to find her. Too strong on the finish.
Jatan thought about it. Gives way to Skonhold. Cross-court pass to Knight. Short on the three. Ball's loose. Craddock picks it up.
And both teams doing a pretty good job. As I said, they're a little bit more of a prevent defense, trying to keep the ball in front, but they also don't foul a ton because of that. Not a crazy amount of ball pressure. Try to be pretty disciplined. They got one right there.
Got a foul on the Trojans. Timeout on the court. 3:05 left, third quarter. It's 41-40. Sioux Valley on top. Back in a moment. This is SDPB3.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride. The values driving farmers also powers South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
Get a look at the West Central cheering section there. They've outscored Sioux Valley 11-5. The Trojans have here in this third period of play. And of course, we've seen a few players from the boys basketball team over there sitting in the stands.
Yeah, supporting their classmates, which you love to see on both sides of things. Sioux Valley and in West Central, and obviously West Central will be getting prepared to go out and try to continue their unbeaten season out in Rapid City.
Craddock collects the inbounds pass. Ward on the perimeter, drives, looking to score. No, not this time. Trigstad, three, in and out. A rebound to Stallman, who's back into the game. Here's Schultz with the ball. Can't make anything happen there as Craddock shut that down.
And West Central defensively have been doing a better job at least challenging the three-point looks as Casey Deton creates one.
Oh, the ball bounced away from a couple of West Central players right in the hand of Sioux Valley. See what Ward wants to do. Drives, scoops it up and in. She's got 15.
And you see that speed that she can attack with. We talked about her prowess in track, and she's one of the better athletes end-to-end in this tournament.
Mistake there by the Trojans, a turnover. Points in the paint, 22-10, advantage West Central. Keating back into the game.
The three ball has been the great equalizer like it oftentimes can.
Craddock didn't have a shot there. Attempted not too many today, but Ward has, and a blocking foul. And that's against West Central. 2 free throws coming up.
And we've said it a bunch, but Amari Ward, 15 points today. She had a great game yesterday with the double-double. In quarterfinal game, I'm sure she felt like she could certainly play a little bit better. But she's been a huge benefit for the success that Sioux Valley has had yesterday, and then so far here today. She only averaged 7 a game coming into the tournament. She's well exceeded that and yesterday and today.
Collects on both free throws. She's got 17. Top scorer for Sioux Valley. Jatan tries to take it to her and scores. Jatan has 7 points in the period, 15 overall.
Ran a nice little dribble handoff.
Craddock lines up a three, in and out. Knight clears it away. Cross court to Stallman. Here's a drive by Knight. She's all alone and scores. She has 14 now.
You like that flow offensively for West Central, getting it moved. And we've talked about they do a very good job of moving without the basketball, and you saw it from Ellie Knight.
Trigstad trying to back down the defender. Here comes Schultz, foul out on the perimeter. It's Skonhovd, and that is her third. And here comes a sub to the scorer's table. It's Thornton. Thornton signed to play soccer at Dakota State next year. And they'll throw it inside to Craddock, immediately double teamed. And she has to throw the ball to the perimeter.
Yeah, and if Sioux Valley can get one up early here, they'll get another possession, 2-for-1 situation.
Craddock is going to be fouled on her approach to the bucket and will get 2 free throws. And that is going to be a foul on Knight, her first.
And West Central has tried to slide underneath those brush cuts as much as they can, and they're Casey Deton a little late leveling that basketball off, and Ellie Knight had to help and put her at the line.
Craddock on the year 68%, but misses the first of 2. Missed that one. Jatan the rebound. Let's see. We got about a 4-second difference between shot clock and game clock, but we're going to have a foul out on the perimeter, I believe, or we got a bench warning.
Yeah, no, I think they got her. They got her with the hand check there, and then they were the West Central staff was having a little discussion over there on the sidelines.
Trigstad with the foul, her second. Chaton, quick three, short. Craddock clears it away. Shot clock is off. Sioux Valley on the move. See if they'll pull it back for one. No, Ward's in attack mode, and it goes off of somebody's leg. It's going to West Central. .3 seconds. Plenty of time. They can't take too long if you're West Central.
It's like a little high spread ball screen here for Ellie Knight to get downhill.
I think that foul is going to be on Thornton.
Yeah, might have just leaned into that primary defender. We can see it right here on the replay. It's the one thing in Amari Ward. Yeah, maybe.
First foul on Thornton. And with 6.3 seconds left, an opportunity here for the Cossacks to extend their 1-point lead.
They can throw deep here to Craddock if she's flashing to it.
They get it to her. She's open, but she lost the handle, and it goes out of bounds with 3.2 seconds left.
Kind of been one of those days a little bit here for Kaylee Craddock.
Here comes Keating into the game. Craddock will get a break. Craddock, of course, with those 3 fouls, they don't want to risk it any further. Got the length of the court to go. See if there's a breakout play. Chaton. And was she fouled? Yes, she was, but that's not necessarily a bad foul.
Yeah, still had 1 to give, and they were intentionally trying to do that, so she didn't even get a look up, but there's still going to be 1.2 on the clock.
And that foul on Trigstad. That's her 3rd. Okay, he's got to be quick here. Chaton from near half court. It's off the mark. We got a good one here, folks. 45-44, Sioux Valley on top. Back with the 4th period in a moment, right here on SDPB.
Our Peterson Farm Seed Reps real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm Seed Reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
Getting ready for the final period of basketball, at least of regulation basketball. 4th quarter coming up. Sioux Valley on top by 1 point. Along with Nate Kading, I'm Steve Toom. Great to have you along for the ride on a Saturday afternoon in Watertown. This is for the Consolation Championship.
Yeah, and we got a good one here, Steve, as we kind of predicted coming into it.
Schmuck with the drive. Avery Schmuck with 5 points now. The 8th grader's been impressive. Knight with the drive, tries to shovel it off to Thornton, but Ward takes it away. Schmuck finds Trigstad, back to Craddock. See what Sioux Valley does here. Oop, Vincent lost it, but got it back. Schmuck, 3, no. Rebound fought for, and Kramer has it.
And her defender went underneath that dribble handoff. You like that read.
3, air ball, out of bounds. Skonhoved in, Thornton gets a break for the Trojans. Here comes Schultz into the game. Kramer will head to the Pine.
And Kramer was a little shy on that one, has hit a 3 in each of the 2 previous games. Had one in both yesterday's matchup in the quarterfinal.
Ward wants to drive, but has to give it up. The drive, Craddock spins, puts it up, counted in the foul.
And they brought that double team, and Kaylee Craddock, you can see here it on the replay. Skonhove came over, she just stepped right through that double team.
Skonhove just got her 4th personal foul. First foul of the quarter. And the free throw is nothing but net. The lead is 6. Knight drives, will not fall. Craddock clears it away, and we're going to have a foul. Reaching in was Stallman, and that will be her 2nd. And a timeout has been called, a full timeout called by West Central. We'll be back in a moment right here on SDPB.
At Muth Electric, we don't just power projects, we empower people. We invest in training, mentorship, and career development opportunities at every level. Because strong careers build strong communities. Your future is bright with Muth Electric. Muth Electric now hiring.
Since 1882, we've raised 5 generations of hardworking Americans on this land. Our great-great-grandfather believed in something simple: respect the land and it will provide. Anthem Oats, grown by us, shared with you.
Getting a look at some of the West Central fans here. I wonder how many were in high school. Of course, these young ladies, I don't know if you mentioned Britney Spears to them as the song's playing over the PA, if they're going to know who she is.
Oh, I'm sure we got plenty that know that. And on the court here, Sioux Valley off to a 5-0 start here to start off this 4th after being outscored by 6 in that 3rd quarter.
Yeah, 3rd quarter was good for West Central. The 4th quarter is so far owned by Sioux Valley. Craddock hands it off to Trigstad. Yes! She's got 10.
That's a set action that they run. Little dribble pitch back.
Lead is 9.
You can see West Central right now, the couple set, and here's Stallman with the big one.
Wow, that was big for Stallman. That's her first points of the tournament. Couldn't have come at a better time for the Trojans. And that pass sails over the head of everybody and out of bounds. Turnover. We'll give the ball to West Central.
Was the right idea there, and a good hard attack by Amari Ward. The pass just sailed on her.
See what Knight can do. She'll direct traffic. Stallman comes out to take the pass. Knight on the attack. The lane's open. Didn't get the bucket, but she got the foul.
And Knight is just, she's so good going downhill, especially when she can get to that right hand.
Vincent, the foul, only her first, team first. Knight gets a pair of free throws on the year, 60%. But hit the front of the rim with that one.
And both teams right now shooting over 40% from the floor on the game. Offenses, when you got 53 and 47 here with 5 to play, things are going well. Turnovers are 10 or under for both teams. Pretty clean basketball game both ways.
Schmuck wide open. Yes on the 3. Somebody forgot about her.
The 8th grader stepped up here in some big ways here.
Takes a lot of confidence to fire that shot early in the shot clock, but she had the opening and took it. Trojans need a bucket here. So they're down by 8, and Stallman, nearly traveled. Jatan wants to fire the 3, can't with Ward in her face. Puts it up in the middle of the lane and creates a mid-range jumper.
Yeah, and West Central, they needed that one. Cut this back to a 2-possession game.
Ward with the ball. Drives into the paint, lost the handle. Schultz took it away. Here comes Jatan, open 3 ball, yes! She's got 20.
And Kaylee Schultz right there coming up with a steal and then a physical screen on the offensive end to free Jatan.
Jatan almost got a steal there. Now they'll settle it down with Vincent in between the circles. Trigstad looking, nothing inside. Now she'll cut to the paint. She will get the foul and get some free throws when we come back from this timeout. 3:45 left in regulation. It's a 3-point lead for Sioux Valley. Back in a moment here on SDPB.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
I can't imagine being anything other than a nurse. I'm also much more than a nurse. And working at Avera lets me find balance between the career that called me and a life that fulfills me.
We got a good one going here for 5th place on day 3 of the Girls A basketball tournament. Along with Nate Kading, I'm Steve Toom. Sioux Valley up 56-53 on West Central, and Trigstad will get some free throws.
Yeah, you feel with how well both teams are operating offensively here that whichever group can find a way to string just a couple stops together, probably going to give their teams a huge benefit. That's not a rocket science thought right there, Steve. But offense has just been flowing very easily for both groups here today.
Yep, in those final few minutes, whoever can play better defense is going to win this contest. 11 points for Trigstad. She made 1 of 2.
Either that or whoever has the ball at the end of the game, I guess. One of those two.
It could come down to the last shot and who has that opportunity. We shall see. Skonhove back in with the 4 fouls. Picks up her dribble, bounce pass, no one home but Craddock. And Skonhove, I think, just fouled out of the game. Trying to take the ball away from Craddock in the backcourt. See what the official signals here. It is. And so Mackenzie Skonhove, her day and her season over, ends the day with 7 points for the 5'8" junior. And here comes Kramer back into the lineup. That is the 4th team foul, by the way, on West Central.
Sioux Valley just took a timeout right there.
Well, we got a moment here. I'd like to remind you that your passport to great programming is available online. With SDPB Passport, you can access hundreds of hours of programs you can't see anywhere else. Your gift of only $5 a month grants you access to shows from Masterpiece to the entire collection of Ken Burns documentaries and much, much more. Make a gift and get started today. More? You can find out more at sdpb.org/passport.
The other thing that's going to be really important here coming down the stretch, with that last foul, West Central, 4 team fouls this quarter. The next one, Sioux Valley is going to be in that bonus throughout the entire rest of the game. Sioux Valley only has 1 foul here this quarter, so definitely an important aspect here in the last 3.5 to play.
And as a team, Sioux Valley 62% from the free throw line. Vincent 88%, so's Trigstad, Ward 67, Craddock 68. So their 4 main ball handlers all over 68%. That's pretty darn good, or over 67%, I should say. That's pretty good.
No, yeah, no question, Steve. And the other thing, they don't run a ton of sets, but the actions that they run very, very well. We'll see what they come up with here.
Poked away, but Trigstad collects it. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Top back into the game. Gives way to Vincent. Little weave up top. Trigstad lost it, but she got it back. She's going to back down against Kramer. Puts it up, and it spins out. And the rebound, that was Schultz who had it. Gives way to Knight. Oh, I thought that was going in. So did most of the Sioux Valley fans, and I think a good chunk of the West Central fans thought that was going to fall, but it spun out. Knight thought about the 3, drives, got it.
Yeah, they ran Ellie Knight off that weak side stagger, had a lane to attack, and took it to cut this back down to 2.
Both teams 3 timeouts in their back pocket. But the team fouls, 1 for Sioux Valley, 4 for West Central.
They were trying to go high-low to Kaylee Craddock, but Kramer did a nice job of denying that high post pass.
Craddock steps outside, got her defender in the air, inside, missed it. And a good rebound by Jatan. Managed to get in there and collect that rebound. 2 minutes to go, and we've got a timeout called by West Central. They want to talk things over. Take a look at that opportunity here for Knight. Just split the defenders.
Yeah, you get stuck in that corner help spot right there that Talia Vincent was stuck in, and a lot of times you don't want to leave that corner shooter because it's just such an easy one more pass. So she was stuck between, gosh, do I cut this drive off or do I stay with the shooter? She decided to stay with the shooter and give up the 2, and Ellie Knight and Casey Jatan, 20 for Jatan, 17 for Ellie Knight. Those 2 have been huge. And on the other side, 3 in double figures for the Cossacks. Amari Ward leading them with 17, Talia Vincent 15, and Liberty Trigstad with 11 right now.
Yeah, Craddock's been held to 6, but Craddock also has 8 rebounds and 4 assists, so she's doing it in other departments.
No question. She's a player that even when she's not scoring the basketball, she's going to help you in other ways. Always their best rebounder out on the court, and good vision, and just always plays a good floor game regardless of whether shots are falling for her or not. I know she would probably love to have that last one back to keep this at a 2-possession game.
We get back to action. 25 on the shot clock. Jatan drifts to the outside. And a man for the Cossacks. Jatan to the corner, nothing there. Stallman gonna drive, now shut off. Oh, an opening for Knight, and she's fouled. And again, the lane opened up for her.
Yeah, she's just really effective with that right hand. And Sioux Valley always That's just that's a little bit of a tough cover for Top right there. They always try to force you to your weak hand in that lock left defense, but Ellie Knight just so good. She's got that right hand hesitation move, jabs with that left foot. She goes to that about every time she's attacking off the bounce.
Craddock got her 4th personal foul, team 2nd. She will stay out there with 1:41 left. Knight missed the first of those free throws, critical miss, but got the second one. She has 18 points.
Both teams still with plenty of timeouts here remaining. Sioux Valley has 3 to use.
Top had it and lost it, got it back. And are we going to have a foul? Yes, we will.
And that's going to send them to the free throw line. That'll be the fifth foul. So Top will be heading to the free throw line.
And on the year, Macy Top 55%. She hasn't scored today. That was the 3rd foul on Kaylee Schultz.
And this will be her first free throw attempt of the day as well. She was 2 of 4 in the game yesterday.
First one looked good. That's her first point of the day. Young lady, a sophomore, 5'7", scores a little over 3 points a game, 2 rebounds a game. And that one will fall. 2 huge free throws.
Stepped up with confidence for both of them.
Now it's a 2-possession game. Here's Schultz, a 3, in and out, and Ward up high for the rebound. And Coach Granum wants to talk it over. Timeout, Sioux Valley. Boy, that one was halfway down.
That looked good, and that was a lot of confidence from Kaylee Schultz there. She hadn't attempted a 3 yet all game long. That might have been her first 3-point attempt. Looking back, that might have been her first. She did attempt one yesterday as, actually, no 3-point attempts yesterday. And none the game before, so that was her first 3-point attempt of the year. Not a high volume one, but definitely capable from out there.
Wow, that was so close to going in. But now, if you're the Trojans, you still got 1:11. You don't have to go to the foul game just yet.
No question. This is an eternity in basketball time yet. You just need to come out and you need to get a quality stop. You just put yourself, you end up, like if they're able to get a bucket here and stretch it to 5 or 6, especially if they take this shot clock down, you're gonna be sitting at about 40 seconds in a 2-possession game. So it's imperative that you come out and get a stop and give yourself a chance on the other end. And really, you're going to have time to take a 2 or a 3 if you're West Central and get a stop here. And on the other side, you got to be sure with it. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to shorten the game out here, and then we'll see who they go to. Kaylee Craddock is generally the one in these big situations. Easy post touch.
Bounce pass comes in to Vincent. See if they go for a trap. They're going to extend the offense. Pull it way outside, does Sioux Valley. Playing a little keep away here. Oh, we got a collision. And who's that going to be on? It's going to be on Ward. That's her 3rd. And that's the team's 3rd. And that gives the ball back to West Central.
Yeah, Zamari Ward was just going into that pitch, made contact with Jatan right there.
Don't necessarily need a 3, but they're going to take one. It's short of the mark. And Stallman fighting for the rebound. There's a pileup in the lane. And the possession arrow favors West Central. It is a jump ball.
And they tried freeing Jatan with that stagger screen. Amari Ward was top covering it initially, not allowing her to come off, and Casey Jatan tried to shed her and then ended up getting a very good look in that situation from 3. It's a little short.
But they will get a fresh shot clock and another opportunity. Oh, it's topped away. Jatan is going to be fouled, I think, by Ward. And she hit the deck hard.
Yeah, and that's only going to be Sioux Valley's 4th foul, so it'll still just be side out for West Central here again.
Ward, her 3rd personal foul, but now it's free throws the rest of the way for both squads. And timeout West Central, a quick 30-second timeout call as they want to diagram a play.
And when you get put in these situations, 42 seconds left, you got a full shot clock. You want to go with a little bit of urgency, but the biggest thing is you got to make sure you get a quality look. You're down 3, but you can definitely take a 2 and extend and try to. It's just important that your defense is locked in. They're not a big press team, so if you do take that 2, you got to be right up there in whatever pressure situation that you have, trying to make it difficult, creating a turnover, and then you end up probably playing the foul game from there.
And for Coach Jamie Granum, I would think he's telling his team, look, if they make an approach to the bucket, don't foul them. Don't give them the hoop and the harm.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you do foul them, you absolutely need to make sure that basketball is not going up towards the rim. But you want to be uber aggressive, take away threes, and then definitely no fouls around the basket unless they're super hard ones.
All righty. Kramer gets it into Stallman.
They're trying to post Jatan up.
They do, and she puts it up. It's short of the mark, and we got to pile up in the paint, and it's a jump ball. Or do we got a timeout call? It is a jump ball, or is it a timeout?
Timeout Sioux Valley they awarded.
All right, so it looked like, I think Trigstad might have come up with the ball, and she went down hard. She's holding her back as she heads to the sideline. So that is a Sioux Valley possession, and they call timeout. Both teams 1 timeout left as Jatan went very strong to the bucket.
Yeah, she turned. They were able to enter it to her, and she ended up turning over her right shoulder. And when you're a righty, whenever you're turning over that right shoulder, I mean, she tried finishing it with that right hand, and that defender is right there. And even when there's contact in those situations, it's just you're not, more times than not, you don't get that foul call. It just looks really awkward as you're trying to turn right into, and that defender is in their guarding position a lot of the times. So yeah, West Central will have to, sure, Sioux Valley's talking about how they're going to get the basketball in bounds. Whose hands do they want it in? They still have 1 timeout remaining if they get in trouble. And West Central's got plenty of time here. I would look to get a trapping opportunity. You don't need to foul initially. You even got time for multiple trapping opportunities. Then if they get it in the front court, you got to take one.
And they have their best free throw shooting lineup on the floor, does Sioux Valley. Shot clock is off. Craddock triggers, Jatan in her face. They get it into Vincent. Back to Craddock. And she's going to be fouled by Stallman. And then, it's only the 3rd on Stallman. And we'll march to the other end of the court for 2 free throws. Craddock on the day, 1 of 3, 68% on the season.
Yeah, and these are obviously gigantic ones here to make this a 2-possession game.
Yeah, but to make it a 2-possession game, Bailey, you have 2 to make 1. If you remember that from, or, well, at least we don't have the old 3 to make 2 rule. Now it's a 2-possession game.
Yeah, and Kaylee Craddock stepping up here in a big moment after not having a great game offensively.
Calmly makes them both. And now it's a 5-point game, and now you kind of have to hit a 3 if you're West Central. Well, Knight's going to take it in and get the quick 2 and then the quick timeout. Not a bad strategy either. And Sioux Valley, I think, was smart. Just let her go.
Yep. Let her go, and not a whole. You had about 8 seconds come off that clock right there, and good things have happened when they've allowed her lanes to attack, space to attack, and especially she's able to continue to get to that right hand. But that puts her up to 20 points here.
Yeah, she's had a, and this young lady's only a freshman, folks.
Yeah, one of the many talented younger folks in this tournament. The last underneath out of bounds, trying to get it in. Sioux Valley, they ran the little football play, which you've seen a lot more on the hardwood over these last few years. They all kind of line up as wide receivers and they're running routes. They ran 2 people deep and then had a screen across for Talia Vincent, who is their best free throw shooter.
Yeah, 88%, as is Trigstad. So when you have 2 guards that are shooting close to 90%, as a coach, you feel pretty confident.
Yeah, and the one thing with both of them, they didn't shoot a ton of them on the year coming into the tournament. Vincent had only shot 8 free throws on the year. That kind of goes to show you they haven't been in a ton of close games, right?
Yeah.
They've had a few, because naturally when they have been, the basketball's been in her hands.
All right, here we go. They're going to run the court. Who goes deep? Who stays close? They're going to get into Vincent. And she is going to be tackled by Kramer. And that is only her 2nd personal foul. And so we march down to the other end of the court for the 2 free throws.
Yeah, had that contact come on her, and right as it was doing it, that pivot foot of hers was sliding, but the contact took place first. And yeah, same exact inbound play as we saw before.
Good on the free throw. Never touched iron.
And the big thing defensively here for Sioux Valley is they just need to make them take time here. They don't want to be able to have Ellie Knight rush it down the court again.
Knight looking to drive. Trigstad cut her off. Jatan, step back, 3-pointer off the back iron, and Craddock was fighting with Stallman for the rebound, but Schultz throws it up and in. No timeouts left for West Central, and the ball game is over. A great effort by West Central, but it's going to end 63-61. Sioux Valley with a great win and a fantastic contest here for the Consolation Championship.
And there was a situation just like that in the Iowa State tournament when they were out of timeouts and a coach purposely got a technical foul to stop the clock in that situation to at least give yourself a chance to play. Now, the other team went and made both free throws, so it didn't matter. You could see Coach Caffrey even looking at it and thinking about it there, but didn't go with it.
Yeah, unfortunately, West Central was out of timeouts. They make the 3, and that was Kaylee Schultz's first points of the game, but not quite enough, as Sioux Valley has won 63-61. It was been the closest game of the tournament so far. And in a moment, we will hand out the individual medals and the team trophies here in our 5th and 6th place game. Sioux Valley, a year ago, they got 5th place, and they will conclude the 2025-2026 season also in 5th place. This is a very good program that Jamie Granum has got going there at Sioux Valley.
And you've mentioned some of the younger athletes that they even have. Obviously, losing Vincent and Ward will be important, but a bunch coming back.
Let's turn it over to Ryan Neal.
At this time, we'd like to present the team awards to the teams placing 5th and 6th in the Class A girls basketball tournament. To present the awards are Jeff Danielson, Chad Allison, and Chuck Wilson from the South Dakota High School Activities Association Board of Directors. Assisting them with the awards presentation are representatives from the Activities Association corporate partners, John Allen from Sanford Health, Lieutenant Colonel Rebecca Trigstad from the South Dakota Army National Guard, Brian Bisker, foundation donor, First Premier Bank card. The 6th place team in Class A is West Central. Number 1, Ellie Knight. Number 2, Bailey Stallman. Number 4, Bella McGraw. Number 5, Mackenzie Scotto. Number 10, Casey Jatan. Number 11, Ella Harden. Number 14, Ayla Kramer. Number 15, Emma Voltz. Number 21, Kaylee Schultz. Number 22, Jordan Phillips. Number 23, Abby Thrompton. And number 42, Avi Eberhard. Assistant coach Tony Lanham and assistant coach Jamie Jenkins. Head coach of the West Central Trojans, Mr. Joe Caffery. The 5th place team in the Class A basketball tournament is Sioux Valley. Macy Licht. Number 3, Audrey Larson. Number 10, Talia Vincent. Number 12, Liberty Trigstad. Number 14, Avery Schmuck. Number 15, Macy Topp. Number 20, Miley Keating. Number 21, Amari Ward. Number 24, Skylar Knutson. Number 25, Cheyenne Vanderwall. And number 32, Kaylee Craddock. Student managers, Cameron Uker, Elizabeth Deckenicker, Ann Vosted, Sienna Weiss, Water Girls Annabelle Mathern, and Emery Schuck. Assistant coaches Carly Granham, Leah Hope, and Brooke Mathern. And head coach of the Sioux Valley Cossacks, Mr. Jamie Granham. There will be a welcome home celebration held for Sioux Valley to be determined and will be posted on the school's media.
Congratulations to Sioux Valley. They claim the consolation championship. So we get a look at that last play, the three-pointer. Good, but time ran out on West Central. We'll be back in a moment. Have more from Watertown right here on SDPB 3.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Peterson Farm Seed Reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm Seed Reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
Sioux Valley wins the consolation championship for the second year in a row, 63-61 over West Central. And standing by with the winning coach is Nate Kading.
Coach, entertaining game, back and forth. Offensively, you guys really had it rolling, especially from three. What were your thoughts just on how your team performed, especially on that side of the floor?
Yeah, you know, it starts for us with our rebounding. If we can rebound and we can get out in transition and space the floor with player speed, ball speed, width, and depth, that's kind of our slogan or our words we use. And we feel really confident that if we get to the arc, they're going in. We're sometimes over on the bench, we get surprised when they don't go in. So it's we try to play a fun style that the Kazakh fans want to watch. So yeah,
no question. Couple seniors that stepped up good or very, very well. Talk about the Amari Wards, the Talia Vincents, what they've meant to your program. You see the emotions and being able to finish on a win.
You know, Amari Ward, a year ago, I told her when we were out in Spearfish that we're not here without her. And she gives us such a dynamic, not only on the court with what she can do, impact the game offensively, defensively, but she adds a dynamic, a personality to our team. And, you know, at the end, it's kind of about that, right? That team unit. Every team here is tight-knit and stuff like that. And Amari she shows up, and I call her Big Game Amari. I mean, she has some big games for us, you know. And Talia, Talia's been our rock. Like Talia Vincent, I mean, if you don't like her, you've got something wrong with you, because this kid is a great kid off the court than she is on the court, and she wants to win and compete. She's the one that told our team hey, there's a big difference between a trophy and a plaque, so let's go get that trophy. So she's just great to be around. We're just, we're grateful and lucky that I get to be around great kids.
No question. Well said, Coach. Congrats on the win. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, Nate.
All right, congratulations again to Sioux Valley. You mentioned Talia Vincent, committed to Dakota State to play basketball, 5-time state cross-country qualifier, 6 years qualifying for state track events. She also is a member of the National Honor Society and has a 4.13 GPA, and an amazing young lady. And, of course, Amari Ward, 2-time state champion on the cheer and dance team, and a 5-time state track athlete. As we get some highlights here from the second half, and this was a nip-tuck affair the whole way, as West Central did fall behind, but they managed to stay in the game. Amari Ward several times down the lane with that left hand had the finish, but West Central just kept hanging around, and this one was a close one right to the very end.
A well-played basketball game both ways. You could see both of them wanted to end their season on a win. And if who knows, if this game would have went 2 or 3 minutes longer, West Central might have been right there. Back and forth affair. They dug themselves a little bit of a hole in that first half, but then came out in the second half, and down the stretch we're right there.
Good ball movement from both teams, and there's a big three-pointer there for Sioux Valley. And then Ellie Knight, the huge game with 20 points, as she managed to get into the paint quite a bit. We take a look at the stats. Pretty darn even. Rebounding +6 for West Central. Turnovers even. A couple more free throws for Sioux Valley. They were solid in the second half. More three-pointers for Sioux Valley.
And that three-point line was huge for Sioux Valley, especially in that first half. They really had it rolling from deep, and that was a difference that gave them that cushion to start off with, and they did just enough to hold on. Great balance. Amari Ward, 17. Talia Vincent, 17. Trigstead with 11. Kaylee Craddock, 8. The 8th grader Avery Schmuck gave them an important 8. They just got contributions from a variety of different people.
Points in the paint, 30-14 advantage West Central. That's how they stayed in it. But Sioux Valley prevails 63-61. We'll be back in a moment with more from the Class A tournament. You're watching SDPB.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
There you see the final score of our Consolation Championship, the second game in a row that went right down to the wire here in Watertown earlier today. It was Lakota Tech rallying from a dozen down to beat Wagner 67-64 for 7th place, and then went right down to the final second. Sioux Valley holds off West Central 63-61. Some fantastic games here in the afternoon bracket.
Yeah, hopefully just a precursor of what we got going on tonight. But these first two, the Wagner jumped out to that initial lead, and as you mentioned, Lakota Tech fought back, and then we had just a back and forth affair that just finished up.
All right, we got the Battle of the Chargers tonight for 3rd place. Hamlin and Sioux Falls Christian. They met last year in the semifinals. And of course, their boys teams have met in the A championships the last couple of years. I think this is my 3rd straight tournament where I'm doing Hamlin versus Sioux Falls Christian over the last couple of years. And then for all the marbles tonight, it ought to be a dandy. Lennox against unbeaten Makpia Luta. We start our coverage at 5 Central for Mountain Time. Should be great. Also join us online, sdpb.org/basketball. On behalf of our entire crew, our camera people from Watertown High School, for our engineering, production, operations crew, for Nate Kading, I'm Steve Toom, temporarily signing off from Watertown. We'll see you tonight for championships Saturday night for Class A basketball. Good afternoon, everybody.